Hello, all henchbuns from around the world. Welcome back to my magnificent stream. And today we have more Umineko on the docket for you. I'm excited to dig further into episode 5, The End of the Golden Witch. Seems a little bit of a stupid name because I know there's 3 more episodes after this. Ding. Happy Cat Box Day? That's right. We're gonna have a lot more cats in the boxes as far as Umineko goes, I think. Hello, Lispy Byzantine. Welcome. I'm gonna be reading more Umineko, so look forward to that. I'm honestly really excited, because this has been a very enjoyable episode so far. We've gotten into the action pretty fast. We've got this crazy new person named Erika Furudo, who is getting more and more insane with every second, which is great. I love this game's insane, psychotic characters. And overall, it's just been quite enjoyable. So I kind of just want to jump right into it. Let me hit that load. Here we go. Thanks for the resub, Ball and Blue. Oh, that's right. That's where we left off. That's right. That's right. We left off right on this very important part. I remember now. We're going right to October 5th. That's where the true fight starts. The true battle against these horrible, very short witches. You're here to watch a visual novel with zero context, having never read any of this? You know what? That's fine. I think Umineko has enough moment-to-moment enjoyment that you can still pop in and maybe get something out of it. I knew exactly what I was committing to when I committed to reading all of an incredibly long visual novel on stream, which was that some people would probably pop in intermittently and lose the plot. And that's okay. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Because what matters is my enjoyment above all others. Was it someone's alarm clock? Beep beep. An electronic tone repeatedly rang out through the room. As long as you check it out from the start afterwards, I also recommend this. I've been enjoying Umineko a lot. I think anybody can have a good time reading it. Battler, who had gone to bed late and not managed to get enough sleep, covered his head in his blanket and waited for someone to turn off the alarm. But no matter how much time passed, the electronic tone didn't stop. I see. The point of an alarm clock isn't just to be loud enough to wake you, but to be annoying enough to keep you from wanting to fall back asleep. This is why I don't have any alarms in my humble castle. I deserve to get as much sleep every single day as I want. No alarm's ever gonna stand in my way. No alarm clocks are allowed inside my HQ, my villainous lair. Hey, the alarm's going off. Make it stop, please. Why do waking up voices always get this annoyed? Well, it does make sense. After all, people are still sleepy and in a bad mood. However, there was absolutely no sign that my annoyed voice had caused anyone to turn over in their sleep, or crawl out of bed to stop the alarm. I wonder why that could be, Battler. I wonder why nobody else in this room is moving. Letting out a deep sigh, I stumbled to my feet. With the shutters down on the windows, there was almost no light getting in, and the room was as dim as it had been earlier. Though, even without the shutters, there's no way this dull weather would let in enough sun to make this a pleasant morning. The cousins were still wrapped up in their beds, sound asleep, and taking no notice whatsoever of that peeping. Normally, once any one person gets up, the others tend to automatically follow. Annoyed that this law of serial summer camp awakenings that I'd just made up had been broken, I searched for the source of the sound. Battler's a funny guy. His narration is always entertaining. I could hear it coming from a wristwatch set on the table. Judging by the style of the watch, it was probably George Oniki's. Anyway, when I randomly pushed a small button on the side of it, the sound stopped. Apparently, it had been set for 7 in the morning. Is it already 7? Sorry, but I don't really feel like I slept at all. Playing cards were left on the table as though they had stopped mid-game. The game had probably been sevens. Damn it, I've got this piercing headache. What the hell happened last night? That mountain of gold and the subsequent argument between the relatives all feel like a bad dream. Oh, that's right, Badler finally got to go to sleep at like 3 a.m. He got a good 4 hours. That sucks. Breakfast normally came at 8. Now wasn't a bad time to start getting up and getting dressed. Even those adults probably won't argue in front of the cousins. In that case, I'll stay with my cousins all day long. Thanks for the follow, Lispy Byzantine. I'm sure they'll be able to separate me from all this annoying talk about the gold and being the successor and all. In fact, I should have done this from the beginning. I felt disgusting having slept with my clothes on last night, which caused me to get all sweaty. I guess I'll take a shower. I'm sure the others want to as well. At this age, it's embarrassing to wake them by shaking their shoulders. If I turn the TV on, everyone will probably wake up. Well, let's at least turn the lights on for now. In this dim light, with the quiet sound of the never-ending wind and rain, it really doesn't feel like morning has come yet. I flipped the light switch, and then that dimly lit morning ended. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what I thought. And scene. That's the end of that scene. They're all dead, Battler.
Georgie! あんまりやないか。こんなマネがどうして許されるんや。
Also, I mean, we had that flash forward at the beginning of the episode that was like, here's all the people we know are dead so far, and it was all the people in this very room, so... As they clung to Aniki's corpse, which would never wake up again, Aunt Eva and Uncle Hideyoshi cried.
もうおよしなさい。ジョージ君がこんな姿をお二人に見せたいと思いますか。思うわけがない。
姉貴、気持ちはわかるが、今は南條先生に任せるんだ。
あんたにはわかんないわよ。ジョージが殺されたのよ。ジョージ。
ジョージ。Just put in that voice acting work. She's doing a good job, Android 18.
ジョージのこんな無体な姿をいつまでも見ていたらあかん。ジョージのために今は耐えるんや。
When Aunt Eva tried even harder to cling to that corpse, Dad and Uncle Hideyoshi dragged her away and had a heated debate with her beside the wall. He got fucked up. He's all dead. He's very dead. I don't think that's gonna work at this stage. I think we're medically speaking beyond a transfusion.
エヴァさん、お気の毒だが、今のジョージ君に必要なのはあなたの血ではないのです。
Yeah, you can't really just shove the blood back in. Dr. Nanjo shook his head slightly, then nodded to where I stood, giving me a signal. I softly pulled the blanket up, covering George Oniki's corpse. His neck was split wide open. It was probably larger and deeper than his mouth. Would covering that part up make the corpse look neat and clean? Of course not. The large amount of lost blood stained the bed a red, horrible, and black. Horrible red and black. Dyslexia moment. And even covering him with the blanket couldn't hide the traces. After all, even the blanket had large red-black stains, and covering him with it made his corpse look even more gruesome. So I stripped the blanket off of my bed and placed it on top of the first one. But there were only 2 extra blankets. So if we covered one more of the corpses, we wouldn't be able to cover any more. I feel bad about the ones we can't cover, but for some reason, times like these make me feel like muttering "don't complain about it being unfair" inside my head.
キリエ、みんなに毛布をかけてやれ。風邪をひいちまう。
Actually, I'm pretty sure you want the corpses to be cold, otherwise they start smelling bad. Kyrie-san and I started covering the other corpses up to their heads with their blankets, just like George Oniki's. so that they wouldn't have to undergo any more shame with their terrible wounds exposed like this. In one bed rested Jessica. Jessica was exactly the same as George Aniki. Though she appeared to be resting quietly in the bed, her neck had been sliced deep and the wound lay open in a brutal way. Maria was the same, and not only Maria, there was one more victim. Lying on the same bed as though they'd been sleeping alongside each other was Aunt Rosa. George Aniki, Jessica, Maria, and Aunt Rosa. In this room were 4 humans who had been killed, their necks sliced open. They'd probably been like that since last night. I'd returned without noticing anything, gotten in bed, and fallen asleep. That's right, Battler, you took a big old nap next to some dead people. All of them had a horizontal cut across their throats. I had been forced to see all the way into the depths of those gashes in everyone's throats. At worst, the wounds might have been deep enough to stretch halfway through their necks. If you tried to open it up, you'd probably be able to see that the gash reached all the way to the bone. The only wounds were the single gashes on each neck, so if you just covered their necks with your hand, you might be able to persuade yourself that they were merely sleeping. But even so, this frighteningly deep wound was incredibly gruesome. There's no such thing as clean or dirty ways of killing. All methods of killing are equally brutal, but even so, the brutality here was just horrible. I don't know if I'd say all ways of killing are equally brutal. Like, I feel like there's more brutality in this than, like, just poisoning someone. But that's me, that's my opinion. I've thought a lot about killing people that I don't like. But you know, that's just me. Da-da. Drawn very large on the wall was something like an eerie magic circle. It was drawn in a bright red paint that looked like blood, and made it look as though some creepy ceremony had taken place in this room. With the 4 of them offered as human sacrifices. I think it's funny that they always say the magic circle looks like it was painted with blood, but, like, even in cases like this where it's obvious it was painted with their blood, killing is bad and wrong? I disagree. However, that wasn't what we were concerned about. No one has a heart so cold that they could witness the deaths of those close to them and still worry about some scribbles on the wall. Hi, Erica.
おはようございます。皆さん。おや、これは立派な魔法
I don't
陣
think
で
that's what we're looking at right now. The girl who bragged that she drew more pleasure from the process of exposing the truth than the truth itself, and who went so far as to call herself, I'm not reading that out loud, appeared in the hall. I don't want a voice clip of me saying that out in the wild. When she saw the extraordinary, creepy magic circle in this gruesome room, I heard what was unmistakably a sigh of admiration escape her lips.
お前は
I'm not rejecting her freak energy, I just don't want clips of me saying certain things out in the wild for anyone to do what they want.
さっきから
I care a lot about my image. I'm very image focused, henchbuns.
お亡くなりになられたのはお兄ですか？心よりお悔やみを申し上げます。
You don't seem very sincere looking at your face. On Erica's face, no, that's not it. It was in her eyes. In Erica's eyes, I could see, well, there's also a smile on her face. An indiscreet smile that was hard to describe. She found this interesting. She found the outbreak of a crime interesting. It was like the smile of a kid off to the side of the stage just before her turn to appear in a school play.
すまねえな、エリカちゃん。取り込み中だ。部屋で待っててくれるか。
そういうわけには参りません。現場検証は探偵の権利ですので。
I don't think you're a real detective.
お前
I
に
think
用
you're
はない
just
と
an
言ってん
insane
だぞ
girl.
部外者はおとなしく引っ込んでろ
現場検証を妨害する容疑者が犯人であるミスというのが私の持論ですが。
お前の都合など知るか出ていけ お前なんかお呼びじゃねえ。エリカちゃん、ほんまにすまんが部屋に戻っててくれん
I
か。
don't think anyone really thinks she's the culprit.
今
It's
は
just
取り
like
込み中なんや。
this is a bunch of dead people.
ジョージジョージ
That's okay. Let it all out, Eva. It's good to cry. It's healthy. That's normal.
どいてください。現場検証できません。
もしそれが必要なら俺たちがするし、警察がする。お前にみんなの亡骸をさらに恥ずかしめる権利なんかあるわけがねえ。
Ah,
探
yeah,
偵
there's
権限。
there's a funny face.
探偵はすべての現場を検証する
What?
権利を
How
持
can
つ。
you even say that in red?
そこをどきなさい。後ろ宮バトラー。これは人間側に認められたゲームの正当な権利よ。
Those words would seem to be utterly ridiculous at first, were words of power that had come from a world on a much higher plane than the one they were in. This feels like cheating. Battler was thrown back by an unseen power and landed on his butt. Struck silent by this quiet intensity, nobody was able to prevent Erica from entering the room, suffocated by this bizarre atmosphere.
ご安心を。
This feels like cheating to be able to use the red
死
truth
者の
in
尊
this
厳を
part.
犯すことが目的ではありませんので。
You sure hope Erica's being normal? Challenge failed already.
別に喉の切り口なんておぞましいもの覗きたくありませんし。私が知りたいのはもっと別のことです。つまりこの殺人を
Who
誰が
commit?
行
Who
った
done
か
it?
です。
Who
南條
done it?
先生。
That's the question of all murders.
特に第一発見者のバトラさん。いろいろとお尋ねしたいことがありますので、ご協力をお願いします。
You did miss the dead bodies.
だから何の権限があってだよ。
私が探偵だからよ。
Battler couldn't argue against this incomprehensible nonsense. No, he wasn't permitted to argue. It was a restriction placed on pieces. Erica summoned Dr. Nanjo and heard the details of his preliminary examination of the corpses. Normally, he wouldn't have spoken of that to an outsider so casually. However, for some reason, the atmosphere about the place had become one in which hiding things from Erica was forbidden. I guess it is on Battler's head for not exercising this weird right himself.
死体は4つ ?2 つ足りないわ。まあ、6人殺す義務もないわけだけど、そういう遊びだしね。あの子、空気読める子だから。
There must be 2 more bodies around here somewhere. Where are you hiding them, you scamp? On the wall was a magic circle representing the first Twilight, similar to that in one of Beato's games. That girl talks tough, but I wonder just how closely she'll be able to imitate Beato. Giggle giggle, ah ha 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 ha. That Hebrew sure is crappy. It isn't written exactly right. Oh, hi.
どういうこと？どうして魔法陣が？きっとベアトリーチェ様の
I
真
didn't
似がした
expect
か
the
った
stakes
の
to
よ。
show up so soon.
へったくそな魔法陣。
真似どころじゃないわよ。人間の誰かがベアトリーチェ様の仕業に見せかけるために
I
わ
guess
ざ
they're
わざ書い
not
たんだわ。
aware of Lambda Delta and
とにかく
Burn
ベアト
Castle?
リーチェ様に報告を。
Yeah, they're like in the middle plane, I guess.
ゴールドスミスの秘密を守る仕事だけでもお腹いっぱいなのに。
They're in the middle.
話ね。
They're in the middle, like the Beatrice pieces.
でも全然美しくない殺人だわ。別に密室でもないし、不可能犯罪でもない。
Yeah, Lambda didn't really try very hard with this mystery
ベ
so
アト
far.
リーチェ様に全然ふさわしくないわ。フルドエ
And
リ
it's not even a locked room.
予期せぬ事件に予期せぬ女、そして19年前の予期せぬ男。碑文はバトラーに解かれるし、 今回のゲームは普段とまるで違うわ。何がどうなってるの？行くわよ。
はいお姉様。
In the kitchen, Goda was preparing a wonderful breakfast at a brisk pace. The main dish would be herb omelets. Even simple foods could become an invigorating feast under Goda's skilled hands. He would pre-cook everything beforehand and prepare the food in the dining hall right before everyone's eyes. At least Goda's having a good time. Goda hummed as he continued his work in high spirits. When Shannon, who was helping out, saw Goda like this, her mood also brightened. She arranged the salad in a neat little pattern and showed it to Goda.
こんな感じでどうでしょう。トマトの感じがちょっと可愛くなったと思います。
実に良いですよ。
Goda's being a little nicer to Shannon this time
シャノンさんもなかなか分かってまいりましたね。
around. He's usually kind of a dick to her. The two happy people gave each other a high five. Shannon didn't like Goda when he was sneaky, but she had no problems at all with him when he was cooking happily. She sometimes even thought it'd be nice if his contract hadn't included any jobs besides cooking. If that had been the case, he wouldn't have had to get in a bad mood doing unnecessary jobs. That's true, Shannon's got a real storm on the horizon considering her fiance got his throat cut open.
もうじきですので、配膳車の準備をお願いします。
Without thinking, even Kumasawa caught Goda's high spirits. The kitchen had a very nice smell and atmosphere about it, truly refreshing for so early in the morning. I could go for some omelets, honestly. Then Cannon came back, grumpy even this early in the morning, just like he always was. Oh, it's the little sourpuss! Cannon and Genji were in charge of getting many things ready for the morning, such as opening the curtains. However, Cannon was alone today, so it had taken much longer than usual.
終わったよ。源氏さんは？
まだいらっしゃらないの珍しいわね。寝坊されるなんて。
あの源氏さんでもお寝坊をね。
Not true. Genji would
親
never.
族会議の最中だというのに緊張感に欠けてますね。カノンさん、起こしてきてあげてくれませんか？
はい。
寝ぼけ眼の源氏さんってどんな顔なのかしら。私もご一緒しますよ。
You would never catch Genji sleeping. Even though Goda had asked her to get the serving cart ready, Kumasawa plodded off after Cannon, slyly skipping work. As Cannon muttered about how Goda was the one who slept in all the time, he headed for the servant waiting room.
カノンさんは今朝起こさなかったんですか？
僕は昨夜使用人室でそのまま寝ちゃったんで。
Sleepy boy! Last night, Cannon had dozed off on the middle of his late-night shift, falling asleep in the servant room. Shannon had been kind enough to put a blanket on him, but that had just made it so warm that he fell into an even deeper sleep. So he hadn't returned to his bed in the servant waiting room the previous night. Because of that, he hadn't met Genji even once this morning. There was a knock on the door.
源氏様、カノンです。おはようございます。
あらあら、まだお休みかしら。
失礼します。
When he tried to open the door, Cannon noticed something strange on the upper part of it. What's that? Packing tape? A small strip of packing tape was stuck along the frame of the door. Almost as though it was sealing the door shut. Oh, I see. This is how you make your closed room mystery. The tape isn't broken. That means that nobody came in or out. Furthermore, there were notches made with scissors along the center of the packing tape, so that if you open the door only a slight amount, it would be torn apart. Also, written sloppily across the packing tape with a thin pen was what appeared to be someone's signature. It was written in a very intricate and decorative manner. So even if it was a signature, there was no way of telling whose it was.
誰かのいたずらでしょうか。
わからないけど、こんなの今は気にしててもしょうがない。 源氏様、失礼します。
Yeah, it must be a part of this closed room mystery to show that nobody went in since whoever put that tape there went in. The packing tape tore apart and he opened the door. It wasn't as though anything happened when it split, so the two quickly forgot about that strange tape. The room was dimly lit. The lower bed of the two-level bunk bed still had a lump under the blanket. Apparently, Genji was still sleeping.
おはようございます、源氏様。
源氏さんらしくもない。
Genji's just a tired guy, I guess. He's definitely not dead.
朝でございますよ。
源氏様。
Oh no. Who could have seen this
何
coming?
ですかこれは。何ですかこれは。
There was a large red-black stain on the blanket. Even the servants' blankets were always kept clean. A stain like that definitely shouldn't have been there. Kanon hesitantly peeled back Genji's blanket, saw what was left of him, and was shocked into silence.
何よこれ、首がすっぱり
Gas!
鋭利だ。相当の刃渡りのものでなければここまでの切り口にはできまい。どういうことよ。碑文の謎をバトラが解いたんでしょ。どうして殺人が起こるわけ。
It's a mystery.
わからん。いずれにせよ厄介なことになるぞ。ベアトリーチェ様とナツキ様にご報告申し上げた方がいい。ベルフェは急いでルシネーに報告を。心得た。
After dashing out, Kumasawa called Goda and Shannon over. Then, this new pair let out screams identical to the first two.
ちょっとゴーダ、朝食の準備をサボっちゃダメ。
She's hungry.
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃないでしょ。2日目の朝食は決して静かに取れやしないってわけだわ。嫌な予感がする。源氏だけで済まないかもしれない。屋敷内を確認するわよ。他にも何か起こっているかもしれない。
はい、お姉様。
Gluttony's a hungry girl. Natsuhi sprang awake at the sudden sound of the phone. Even Natsuhi was surprised that she'd woken up. She'd thought that she'd spent the whole night unable to sleep out of fear that the mysterious man might come in at any moment, but she dozed off before she knew it. Of course, Natsuhi still didn't feel rested at all, though she groaned from the dull pain in her head which hadn't gone away once since last night. She managed to get out of bed.
おはようございます、夏日様。おはよう。最悪の朝です。ご安心を。誰も部屋へ立ち入ろうとはしませんでした。さあ、不審番をありがとう。
Other people, though, other people definitely got into others' rooms. Even so, that didn't mean she'd been able to sleep peacefully. The continued ringing of the phone made her headache throb even more strongly.
電話にお出になられた方がよろしいかと。あと、良くないご報告が妹たちから。
That's underselling it a little bit.
良くない報告は後にしましょう。先に電話を取ります。
Lots of bad news, I would say. Natsuhi shook her head to wake herself and picked up the receiver. Then she regretted not listening to Lucifer's bad news first, because she wanted the first thing she heard on this horrible morning to be something better than this. Ah, it's fake Daisuke Ono. That voice told her that this horrible morning, this nightmare, would not stop.
約束は守りました。私はずっと部屋にこもっていました。もちろん電話もしていません。
でも、この電話には出ちゃったよね。
それは。
Tricked you. It was all a prank, bro.
この電話は母さん思いの僕からのモーニングコールだ。おはよう、母さん。
人はどれだけ苦労すれば。
We learned last time that this is just a voice Lambda Delta doing. is doing, but I'm not 100% unconvinced this guy just won't appear as an actual character eventually.
バーディーの準備のために母さんに席を外してほしかったの。おかげで準備が整っている。もちろん主賓は母さん。
何を始めるつもりですか？
Something spooky.
それは今日の話かな。大丈夫。待たせた。もう始まった。そうだ、ちょっと待って。声を聞かせたい人。
Oh, really? Who's this? There was a sound of the receiver being jolted around. The phone was apparently being passed to someone else, but there was a clunking, clattering noise. As though it was taking a lot of effort to hand the receiver over. Who in the world could he be giving the phone to? No matter who this man gives the phone to, that can't be good news for me. What, Kraus?
あなたなの？
Unless this is just Lambda Delta making things up again. It was, without a doubt, the voice of her husband. However, he didn't respond to Natsuhi's voice. Perhaps he was bound somewhere in the darkness. Kraus, not realizing that Natsuhi was on the other end of the phone, repeatedly demanded that he be untied. I don't know about perfect.
何が目的ですか？夫を解放して。
明日には解放するよ。2つ約束を守って。
Tomorrow? That never turns out well.
何ですか？
Everybody dies at midnight.
一つは、あんたの夫を僕が預かっていることを秘密にすること。屋敷ではそのうち、クラウスの姿が見えないと騒ぎになるだろうけれど、母さんは何も知らないから何も口出しできない。わかるね？
わかります。もう一つの条件は？
ちょっとしたゲームだ。今日の昼の1時になったら、屋敷の1階の一番手前の客室に入る。クローゼットの中に隠れている。
What is this weird plot?
客室？どうして私がクローゼットの中などに？
ちょっとしたかくれんぼだよ。誰にも見つからずに、そこで1時間隠れていることができたら、母さんの勝ち。もし誰かに見つかったら、母さんの負け。負けたらどうだというのですか？別に何もないよ。
Ah, it's just for fun.
遊びってそういうもんでしょ？
It's just for funsies. It's a little fun time for you and me.
明日には夫を解放するよ。
その約束、本当に守るんでしょうね？
もちろんだ。母さんこそ守ってよ。約束を破れば、僕にはすぐにわかる。
At that time, there was suddenly a loud knock on the door to Natsuhi's room. Her heart leapt automatically.
奥様、いらっしゃいますか？おはようございます。
ゴーダとカノンでございます。奥様、どうかお目
We've
覚
got
め
a
を。
lot of dead bodies, like 6 all at once. The voices coming from the door were Kanon's and Goda's. The knock had been wild and the voices a little shrill. It seemed that something strange had happened and that they were agitated.
何？どうしたの？
なんでもありません。使用人が来たようです。もう切りますよ。
うん。僕の言いたいことは全部伝えたからね。じゃあ、約束破らないでよ。
わかりました。あなたこそ約束を
Yeah,
破
no
らないので
promise
すね。
breaking. Release my fail
違
husbands.
うね。母さんがそれを決めるんだよ。僕に約束破らせないでね。母さん。
今日一日母さんを見てるからね。
Lambda Delta slammed the receiver down on the antique phone. Then the phone exploded into bits and became a golden splash, then a cloud of gold butterflies, and then disappeared. Just a funny little prank. Just a little bit of voice projection. Anybody can do that. That's not magical. That's just ventriloquism.
私のターンも順調よ。さあ、ベルもどうぞ。
Oh, the good music.
どうせ無駄なんだろうけど、警察通報を通じて内外の通信可否
I guess we're in the argument phase already.
外線は使用不能。内線は使
Or
える
just
みたい。
investigation.
台風で船も使用不能。
The banger is real, that's
クロ
right.
ーズドサークルの出来上がりかしら。おめでとう。これでベルンが完全に探偵に昇格ね。
When the police intervene, they sometimes steal some of the detective's authority. However, with the construction of the closed circle, the existence of police had been denied for all eternity. From now on, the authority of the detective peace will be totally guaranteed.
はいはい、ありがとう。それじゃあ早速ゲーム開始といこうかしら。
Erica, you're the main character. Now begin.
現地さんまでかよ。5人も殺されたのか？
Well, that we know of. Gotta find one more.
はい、ひどい。
ゲストハウスの4人と全く同じだった。すっぱりとひどく鋭利な刃物で首を切られた。
僕が深夜勤だったのに不審者に気づけないなんて。
自分を責めるんじゃねえ。もし犯人と鉢合わせだったら命を落と
Yeah,
す
Cannon was
自
taking a
分だっ
nap.
たかもしれねえんだぞ。
その上電話も通じんときた。この天気じゃ船も来んやろ。えらいことになったで。
ということは犯人はまだ私たちの身近にいる可能性が高いということだわ。
なんですか。台風が過ぎて船が迎えに来るまで私たちは
That's right, you're
人
stuck
殺しと
here.
一緒にいるというわけですか。
You're stuck here with a murderer.
大丈夫ですとも。こうしてみんなで一緒にいれば犯人だって手出しは。
しかもな。
Oh yeah, rip to Jessica, your daughter.
私たちミスミス殺されはしないわよ。ジョージの仇を撃ってやるわ。許さない。誰が犯人だろうと何が理由だろうと私はジョージの仇を許さない。殺してやるわ。殺
Yes.
してやる。
Eva kill mode. Oops.
はい、皆さん、泣き言は十分ですか？
Very good,
ご静
Erica.
粛に。
You can always count on Erica to be
クラウ
empathetic.
スさんはまだお見えにならないのですか？さっきから電話をおかけしているのですが、
Kraus is missing.
お出にならないのです。
受話器が外れていると。
いいえ、呼び出し音はします。聞こえていないはずはないのですが。
どういうことだ。まさかクラウスおじ
That
さ
would
んも。
that would just be terrible.
やっぱりね。こんな時に不謹慎だけれどね。ゲストハウスの4人に現時点で5人。もう1人いるだろうと予想はしてたの。
Right, because of the first Twilight.
どうしてよ。あんたが犯人なの？あんたがジョージを殺
Alright,
したの？
dial it down a notch, Eva.
やめなさいエヴァさん。今はそんなことをしとる場合では。
Ava got agitated and grabbed at Kyrie. Nanjo stepped in between them and it grew into a bit of a scuffle. Watching this, Erica smiled condescendingly and shrugged.
でしょうね。ゲストハウスの現場を拝見した時点で6人の犠牲は読めて当然です。4人しか死体がなかったので、あとの2人は誰だろうと思っていたくらいなので。
なんでそんなことがわかるのよ。あんたが殺したの。あんたがジョージを。
Alright, Ava, we need to calm down just a tiny bit. You can't swing your accusation stick at
キリ
anyone.
エさん、 なんでそんなことがわかるんや。適当なことは言わんといてや。
簡単な
That's right, Eva does not know the meaning of de-escalation. She only escalates exponentially.
ゲストハウスの犯行現場に書かれていた落書きは魔法陣。魔法と殺人から連想するものを考えただけ。
碑文か。
そうか、第一のか。
どういうことですか？
いえ、私にも
Try to keep up. Try to keep up here, people. This isn't easy or hard.
魔女め。
これはやっぱりベアトリーチェ様の仕業なの。
あんたたち何を勝手に分かった風
Because
な
they
こと言っ
paid
てるの
attention
よ。
for like a moment.
私にはさっぱりわからないわよ。説明なさいよ誰か。
だからエヴァ、少し落ち着くんや。
そういうことです。あの犯行現場の魔法陣を見た時点で、この殺人が碑文の第一の番をなぞった見立て殺人であり、犠牲者は6人であることは想像できていた。だ魔法陣がそこに存在するだけで。フルドエリカは
This level of reasoning is possible for Furudo Erika.
いかがでしょうか、皆様が。
What do you think, everyone?
じゃあクラウスおじさん殺さ。
そうだとも決めつけられません。ここに来ないのはクラウスさんだけではありませんよ。もう一人いらっしゃいます。
For just an instant, Natsuhi's brow furrowed. So, she hadn't been able to avoid the topic of the study after all.
まさか。
That's right, Kinza's gone. Kinza's missing.
おい、誰か書斎には連絡したんだろうな。
もちろんお電話させていただきましたし、ノックもさせていただきました。ですがそのお返事はなく。
当主様は
Natsuhi, I really don't think you can keep this one up forever.
時に電話を嫌い、受話器を外し、ノックを無視することもあります。
しかし呼び出し音はちゃんと。
とにかく主人の無事を確かめる方が先です。主人の寝室へ行きましょう。
Goda does not know Kinza is dead. Only the servants who have the one-winged eagle do. So it's Shannon, Kanon, and Goda. Not Goda, Genji. Natsuhi stood up in a flurry and dashed out into the corridor. Rudolph and the others immediately chased after her, telling her to wait.
さあさあ、皆さんもご一緒に。
Is his dead body on the island Kinza's? That's a good question. I don't know.
三流スプラッターも単独行動を取る人から死にま
You're
すよ。
gonna fall for the cliches!
言わんやこのゲームもまたしかり。ベアとってば三流だわ。
Oh, but in third-rate disaster movies and third-rate action movies, people who act alone do survive, right? Weird. Giggle, giggle. That's true, yeah, we have found Kinzo's corpse before, so it must still be on the island. And Kinzo being dead before the game started applies to every other game. They're always talking about his toes. So yes, Kinzo's body is still on the island. At least in some games. We don't have that confirmed it's every game.
誰が望んでこんな真似を。
Couple of funny
ラムダ
girls.
デルタ教の駒と思われる19年前の男とやらの仕業かもしれません。
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
おっと、そんなはずもありませんが。
これまでのゲームですでにベアタは赤き真実で
Kinzo gone.
金像が消えて18人以上は存在しない18そして今回はそれにエリカが1人加わって19人目が存在しないと明言されてる19年前の男とやらが島に入り込む余地なんてないわ
ならば19年前の男は 既存の人間の中の誰かが語っているか。さもなくば。
Or else
赤で19人目が許されずとも、わらわならば魔女ならば。
Yeah, we can just again, that's not magic. You just did ventriloquism.
面白くなってきたぞ。
You just did a little bit of
もう
voice
しばらく様子
projection.
を見させてもらうとしよう。それにしてもラムダデルタ教にベルンカステル教め、いよいよに我がゲーム版にて好き放題を始めよった。
分かっていてお招きになったのではありませんか。
退屈を嫌うわ。
Yeah,
わ
magic.
ら
Oh,
わ
I
も魔
see.
女なれば同じこと。
I don't think a little bit of voice acting is magic. Anybody can do that. I'm doing it all the time. Am I a witch? No, I'm Bunny.
この想定外さえも魔女なれば想定される喜びである。よかろう。
よかろう。
受けて立とうぞ。
受けて立つのは上等だけど、まずいね。
Girls just want to have fun.
わかってる。
ですが、様子見を気取る段階とはやや言い難いかと。
All voice actors are witches. You know what? That makes sense.
このまま行けば金蔵の存在が再び蒸し返される。書斎の結界も長くは持たんな。
それだけじゃないわ。さらに厄介な展開になるわよ。いい？1手、2手、3手、詰めて。
Chess is like that, or something. Gop whispered something into Beato's ear, a little bit fruity. Beato's mouth slowly widened into a grin.
エリカが全員を集めたのは、むしろ我らには好都合です。観測者の及ばぬすべての闇は、我らは
It's a pretty cool thing to say, Renove.
今
It's kind of chuny.
打てぬ手かと。
夏日はキング。動けぬ駒なれど取らせることは許されぬ。先手を取ろう。ここで失すると夏日が詰められる。ガープル、頼めるか。
もちろん。密室トリックもアリバイもミステリーなんて私がまとめて風穴を開けてあげるわ。
Mystery?
任せて。私が始末する。
Whoop, there she goes. Gop was swallowed up along with the chair she sat in into a pitch black hole that opened on the floor and then disappeared. After that, a hole opened on the ceiling and spat the chair back out, returning the place it had always been.
厄介なことになりました。
I always like when Gop thinks with portals.
なるほどな。ラムダデルタ教にかかってはわらわすらも駒
Yeah,
に
you're
過
not
ぎ
the
るとい
real
うわ
one.
けか。
She knows that much.
序盤は駒の損得より展開を急げという。
You're trying to expand?
かなわぬな、あの御人には。そうはさせぬぞ。夏日はわらわの使える最後の主。このベアトリーチェと契約する限り決して取ることかなわぬ駒と知れ。
Things are getting complicated
クラ
very
ウスの部屋
fast.
は空っぽ。ベッドは空っぽだったけど、
Yeah, it's interesting that this Beato is kind of aware that she's like a piece.
それまでの5人の
It's
殺
weird
害
that there's
現場
like
と
in
同じで
between states for being a piece where you can be kind of aware of what your role is, but others are not. I guess it's mostly just the magical ones that are.
でも死体はない。
ないわね。
ないわね。
じゃあ死んでない。
ないかもね。
どういうこと？兄さんはどこにいるのよ。
この血まみれのベッドじゃな。
Kraus gone. You love Erica's team? It is good. I like this team as well.
ゲストハウスと同様に首を切られて殺されたと考えるのが妥当だろうぜ。
でしょうな。この出血量では無事を考えるのは難しい。
しかし旦那様はどちらに？
He gone! Large amounts of blood stained the top of the bed, but there was no similar marks on the floor of the room. Whether Krause had been seriously wounded and wandered off somewhere, or killed and carried somewhere, they had no clue where this somewhere might be. Natsuhi knew. Though Krause had been sounding far from his best over the phone, at least he hadn't sounded like he was on the brink of death. In other words, those bloodstains had to be a setup. That might not even be blood. However, just what was that man thinking? What's this supposed to be? So on the oh, okay, that's him.
クラウス兄さんには自分の部屋の扉を施錠する習慣はないの？私たちは今鍵を開けずに入ったわ。
いえ、旦那様にも。
He always locks his door so he can have his privacy with him and his bitcoins.
当家では公共の場所以外は施錠が義務付けられております。
クラウスおじさんの部屋を開けられる鍵は何本あるんだ？
旦那様がお持ちの1本の他にマスターキーがああ、鍵がどうこうなんて
Oh boy.
くだらない論争です。
Here comes Miss Smarty
ゲンジ
Pants.
さんがすでに犠牲になっていることをお忘れですか？彼のマスターキーは紛失しています。ですから今やこの屋敷のすべての鍵は意味をなしません。
So somebody took the master key. They can open any door.
つまりこの屋敷には密室殺人は今までもこれからも存在しないという
No
ことです。
closed room mysteries. It really isn't a Beato game.
やれやれ。
We're really working with this is really amateur hour here on Lambda Delta's part.
退屈なミステリーになりました。
Erica laughed off this murder and disappointment as though it was something she was watching on TV. I can't understand it. Why is her world so different from ours? It's almost like she's in a separate dimension from us. Almost.
ジェシカ。
Almost.
こんな風に。
Wonder if Erica hates Columbo. What? Like she finds the mysteries too easy? It does spoil. That's true. It does spoil the mystery. It always starts off with you knowing who the culprit is, and it's more about the how than the who.
ジェシカ。ジェシカに合わせて。
Jessica, she's dead.
私、ジェシカの顔さえ見てないんです。
That does suck.
ジェシカ。ジェシカ。
All right. Bye, Natsuhi. Yeah, a how catch 'em versus a who done it. They're different things. How catch 'em and who done it's are different.
Maだ犯人が近くに潜んでいるかもしれない。一人にさせるのは危険だ。
There she goes, but goodbye! Natsuhi flew out of the room and dashed towards the guest house this time. It was only natural. Natsuhi still hadn't even seen Jessica's dying face. Everyone probably thought that. Of course, even Natsuhi was half thinking that. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. The other half was her desire to shift everyone else's attention away from the study. Strange crimes had occurred, the gold had even been discovered, and some relatives had even recommended Battler to be the successor. Yagami from Judge Eyes could solve the Rokonjima mystery. I haven't played any of the Judgment games yet, so I have no thoughts on that so far. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Even in these twisted circumstances, she had to protect Kinzo's secret. This would be an absolute mess of a Yakuza side story. Yeah, it gets pretty... This is probably the longest side quest chain in Kiryu's life. My head is going to be racked by this suffering anyway. Please just let my head explode right now. That way I won't have to suffer any longer.
では皆さん、夏日さんのためにも一度ゲストハウスへ戻りましょうか。死に顔を見たって何かが進展するわけではありませんが。
お前には心ってもんがねえのか。
I don't think so. She seems very sociopathic.
何ですか？
何ですか? She's playing along. Just seeing her daughter's dead face wouldn't bring Jessica back to life, nor would it heal Natsuhi's anguish. On the contrary, she would probably wail, wasting a considerable amount of time before being able to think properly again. This probably sums up Erika's screwed up argument. I know, she's such an edgelord, it's hilarious. Just seeing their dying faces won't lead to any new developments?
進展するのよね、
What do you got planning here?
それが面白い変化をもたらしてくれたわ。
What are you plotting, Lambda Delta? Natsuhi flew into the cousin room on the second floor of the guest house and was struck dumb by the blood-stained beds and the eerie magic circle, which looked like it might have been drawn with the victim's blood. Oh, all the bodies are gone?
そこのベッドに。
どこに？ジョージはどこなの？
Are all the bodies gone?
おいおい、こりゃどういうわけだ。
この部屋はちゃんと施錠していきました
Oh,
よ
I
ね。
see. This is the additional trick. This is the real locked room mysteries.
これで
How do the bodies
犯人
escape?
がマスターキーを持つことが確実となりました。またしても私
Well,
の
okay, not really a locked room mystery because they have the key, but yeah.
そんなことはどうでもいい。どこに行ったんだ。みんなのジョージの兄貴たちの遺体はどこに行ったん
Maybe
だ。
it was Gop. Maybe this is her weird plan.
面白い真似を。
さあさあ、ほらほら魔法よ。ベアとのどこのカープが
Yeah,
魔法で
that's.
死体をどこかへ
I'm
隠
not
しちゃ
saying
ったわ。
magic is real, but if I were arguing that magic was real, that's my go-to.
私たちは全員で一緒に行動していた。だから全員にアリバイがあると。
あなたの推理はこうでしょ。実は4人は死んでなくて死んだふりだった。それでみんながいない間にどこかへ身を潜めた。正解かしら。
誰の死亡宣言をも赤では出す気ないんでしょ。
当然よ。ベアとのパーと違って私は緑に赤をサービスしたりしないわ。
Money for nothing and red for
なら
free.
喜んで青き真実を使わせてもらうわ。この程度のこといくらでも抜け道は思いつくもの。
Your level's too low, Lambda Delta. You set the difficulty on easy.
はいはいどうぞ。青き真実タイム。
まず考えられる一つ目、実は犠牲者は死んでいなかった。死んだふりをしていてこっそりどこかに隠れたのよ。何しろあんたは誰の死亡についても赤き真実
たとえ傷口ばっかり見せられちゃっても赤くなきゃそうくるわよね。基本
Might as well. If you didn't say it in red, I can say whatever I want.
赤き真実なんてサービスしないわよ。何しろゲームの最後10月5日24時にちょいと
That's
一
true.
否定すればいいんだもんね。ああ魔女側は有利だわ。バカバトルならこれで終わるところでしょうけどベルは違うわよね。
当然よ。こんなのは誰もが思いつくくだらない。
That's right. I'm not nearly as
まだ
stupid as
続けない
Battler.
二つ目、遺体はクラウスが運んで隠した。クラウスはあんたがさらってどこかに監禁されてるように演出されてるけど、
It's all a
実際
trick.
はフリーなの
It's
か
all
も
a
しれない。
trick done with voice acting.
クラウスにアリバイはないわ。クラウスが彼らの死体を隠したのよ。
ああそうよね。赤き真実でクラウスの監禁を宣言したわけじゃないものね。
Did they check the bushes outside the windows? I feel like that might have. Might have been easy to spot if there were bodies in them, but you know.
夏日に自分が囚われてるように嘘をついたっと。他には
3つ目、そもそも死体が別人。犠牲者そっくりの身代わり死体。
Oh, that old chestnut.
ジョージたちは最初から隠れて、
Battler's pulled this one out
その
before
後に
too.
身代わり死体を片付けた。死体は最初から死んでるから、島の人数にはカウントされない。
何それ、超イカす。つまりあれだけの人間が寄ってたかって死に顔を見て、全員が全員身代わりの死体を見抜けなかったと。
They're extremely convincing.
赤き真実をあんたが行使しない以上、全員が全員遺体あんたに誰も人物を誤認しないって復讐要求に応える気があるなら直ちに引っ込めるけど。
嫌ですよーだ。そんな挑発には乗らないわよ。赤き真実はね、もったいぶるから効果的なの。
That's right, you gotta use it like a bunch of it at once, like in episode 3 to be really confusing.
たくさんの青き真実の中からたった一つだけを選び赤で叩き切る。そしてその他全ての青き真実はそれが正しかったのかどうかも明かされないまま闇に葬られて消える。その闇こそ魔女の世界。
闇の魔女。
あんたに与えられる真実なんて何も存在しない。
この子バカそうなふりしてなかなかだわ。決して挑
It's
発
one of her
に乗
charm
りはしない。
points.
魔女の闇ってもんが何か本当のゲームマスターのベアテルよっぽど理解してるじゃない。そしてどうやらガートもそれをよく理解してるみたい。この死体消失の一手、ラムダとベアトの双方にとってなかなか有効だわ。とりあえず
That's true,
私の
Class
死体
Vigil.
消失について思いつく仮説を3つほど挙げてみた。一つの謎に対し
Battler is very dumb, though. We're definitely gonna have to. Lambda is definitely gonna have to use different tactics to trip up Burn Castle.
だから3つのうち1つを否定すればいいわけじゃない。3つのくさびを全て抜かない限りこの謎は貫かれている。それが魔女狩りの鉄則。くさびは1本じゃ全然足りない。くさび1本で死んでくれるのは吸血鬼程度。魔女に比べりゃ吸血鬼なんて貧弱な。
Vampires suck.
本物の魔女はくさびでめった刺しにしなきゃ死なないのよ。殺し屋だってそうでしょ。殺し屋が綺麗に一発の弾丸だけで相手を殺すなんて日本の漫画の中だけよ。本当の殺し屋なら弾倉が空になるまで全弾ぶち込むわ。あんただってそうするでしょ。
Pump them full of lead.
無論私もよ。
He unspoiled the image. Rattle them, boys.
赤一つで一刀両断にしてくるでしょうね。彼らの死亡宣言とクラウスの無実。この辺をちょいちょいっと赤で語るだけで
I know, it's
私のくさび
spooky.
は3本とも抜けてしまう。まあそれでいいんだけどね。赤き真実が出てきたらそれに合わせて再び青きくさびでめった刺し
You
に
just
してやる
gotta
だけ
keep
のこと。
stabbing your girlfriend. I understand the need to stab someone you love. Hi, Chesto.
それが魔女のゲームの進め方。ああ、楽しい。
Everybody's having a great time.
バトラのまどろっこしい戦いにずっとイライラしてきたから本当に楽しい。ええ、わかってるわ、ラムダ。こんなの第一の番の最初の最初。前哨戦でしょ。そうでなくっちゃ。
Just the opening moves.
あんたをボロボロに負けさせて、悔し泣きさせて、
I'm
床を
always
這い
saying
つくばら
this.
せてかきむしらせて、その可愛らしい髪の毛を掴んで床になすりつけな
I'm
がら
always
笑い
saying
転げる
this.
楽しみが薄れちゃうもの。
They're so normal. I know. I love how normal all of these women are. The servant waiting room in the mansion had once again gone silent. There lay Genji's corpse, which had been covered completely with a blanket. In the ceiling of this cramped room, a pitch-black hole appeared, captivating legs sprouted out, and Gop floated downwards. Captivating legs. It's a good phrase, I like that. Can I believe that there's people that think Lambda and Burncastle aren't gay? I cannot believe that. They're so fucking gay. Gop stripped off the blanket as she said this to Genji, who was sleeping peacefully. Then she stared at the deep wound in his neck. Uh-oh. I can't wait to get introduced to yet another new character somehow on this isolated island. It goes without saying, but witches are capable of summoning beings with a strength proportional to their own ability. The great Lady Lambda Delta called that being here as a trump card 19th person. Even optimistically speaking, that is on par with Renove and me. A pitch-black hole opened on the bed, and Genji disappeared as though the bed had swallowed him up. Just like the four in the guest house, Genji's corpse was also hidden in some unknown place. It was a place that no one could find, located neither within this world nor the next. No longer would anyone be able to find their corpses. No longer would anyone be able to confirm their deaths. She carried Genji's corpse to this place of endless silence, where it would never be disturbed. You were told in red that there are only 18 humans on this island? I know, but we gotta swap them out. Gotta kill some more of them for good, and then we can rotate in new ones. Also, that is humans. If God thinks this is someone Lambda Delta summon, it could be another weird demon freak. Yeah, cat box. Exactly, Raiko. We have to precursively kill people so that new ones can come in. Gop licked her lips and gulped. Oh, you know, just doing a little trolling. You found it? Great. She is pretty cool. I like her. I like her a normal amount. I like Gap a lot. Lesbian moments. We need to give our Umphian out. Gop jumped into a pitch-black hole that had opened near her feet. Mammon said, "I'm going in too," and jumped in, followed by Asmo, who said, me too, and hopped in, giggling. As Satan hesitated over what to do, the hole closed. You're left all alone, Satan. What a stupid idiot loser sits by herself. Satan went bright red and got angry all by herself, then turned into gold butterflies and disappeared. We're missing one, though. Where's the sixth? I don't think it's Kraus. I don't think Kraus was in the list of people dead in the flash forward at the beginning. Unless he was and I forgot.
彼らの次の関心は再び金蔵の書斎に向くでしょう。
書斎の鍵は2本。夏日がすべて所持していて幸運であったな。もし現時に1本を預けたままであったら、
I feel like that's just gonna make them suspicious of Natsuki.
それは今頃ラムダデルタ教の手に落ちていたであろう。
どうやらラムダデルタ教は金蔵の死を隠すつもりはさらさらないようですな。 お嬢様が築き上げてきた堀も塔も城壁もすべて見捨てて戦われるつもりのようだ。
It's true, a lot of girls wear leotards in this game, and I respect that vision.
おかしな三角対決になったものよ。
It's like some sort of Mexican standoff.
我らはそれぞれが敵であり、時に意図せずして連携して
It's like that awesome cowboy movie I bet
三
Kenzo
つど
likes.
もえが2対1になったかと思えば、逆に1対2にもなる。ほらあれだ、中国のバトルロイヤル。
That one too, I
三
guess.
国志とやらに似てるとは思わんか？
Yeah, I guess it's also like Romance of the Three
天
Kingdoms.
下三分の計ですな。お嬢様にしては随分と高尚な例えですよ。
三国志って3つ国があったではないか。
I guess Records of the Three Kingdoms is another name for it. I've always heard Romance of the Three
ショックだ
Kingdoms.
ったか？まるでわらわたちであるな。はて。
We just have to be really careful in case Lu Bu shows up. Do not pursue him.
最後に統一したのは秦です。お嬢様のおっしゃられる三国は全て滅びました。
ほう、これは知らなかった。てっきり三国のどれかが勝者になったと
No, it was the funny fourth
義
guy.
が圧倒的に優勢だったのではないか？
帝位を腹心に奪われ、国を乗っ取られて滅びました。
Beatrice's voice. This is just like that one fiction, Fire Emblem Three Houses. Is Romance of the Three Kingdoms copyrighted? I think it's much too old for that. Like, it's a piece of classic Chinese literature. It might just be another translation of it or another book in Romance. Like, I think Romance... Maybe... I haven't read them, so I'm just guessing. Romance of the Three Kingdoms might be, like, the series, and one of them specifically might be Record. Or, again, it might just be another way of translating it. I don't know for sure. The Sima clan, a noble family that Cao Cao invited in as advisors, eventually gained central control in a power struggle and took over the country.
参謀として招き、乗っ取られるか。
Took over from within. The good old evil vizier
面白いぞ。
approach.
ラムダデルタ共鳴。
失礼いたします。人間たちは使用人控室にて現時の死体消失を確認。ゴールドスミス教の書斎に移動を開始しました。
Rip to Kenzo, he would have loved the bullet train, probably.
来るわよ。来るがいい。人間どもに。
Kenzo would definitely be like a John Wick guy at least. If this is a three-way fight, then we've got humans, witches, and... what should we be called? If the thing we're protecting for the time being is Kinzo's phantom...
我らは幻。
Ghosts! Records of the Three Kingdoms is a period in time. Romance of the Three Kingdoms is based on. I see. So Records is probably like the actual historical account, and Romance is probably, well, the romanticized account. "8:05 in the AM." Yeah, that's what I figured. Pyro Poyo. Records is more like the actual historical facts in like book form, like a textbook. And Romance is more literature. Like I said, the slightly more fictionalized account, I bet. You have to be more assertive, Natsuki. She fucking bangs on the door. Is the American Civil War the Sengoku period of the United States history? I mean, isn't that what Sengoku literally means, like a civil war? Eva pushed Natsuhi aside and knocked repeatedly with all of her strength. Can these two just kiss already?
電話にも出ず、ノックしても音沙汰はなしですか。参りましたね。
機嫌をまた損ねられているのかもしれませんな。金蔵さんは時にほんのわずかの変化であってもそれに吉祥を感じ、 本人以外には預かり知れぬ理由で
While
機嫌を
the
損
Sarah
ね
and
た
the
りします。
Bakumatsu are also literally the same thing. That's true. I mean, cowboys are just Ronin, basically. Some sort of itinerant warrior class.
こういうのは何も今日だけに限ったことじゃありませんものね。
じいさまってそこまで書斎に閉じこもってんのか？
はい、1ヶ月以上も書斎を出られないことも珍しくはありませんので。
Yeah, they are the same time period. That's true. Like literally the actual years.
ここだけの話、勤めている私でさえ。
It's interesting to think of history that way. I feel like we're taught history so linearly and separated that we don't that it's hard to understand how many things were going on at the same time. It's like the one I always remember is that the Egyptian Empire was at its height when woolly mammoths were still walking around.
親方様がいらっしゃられることを忘れることがあります。
ゴーダ
There's a lot of things going on at the same
使
time
用
in
人にあ
history.
るまじき発言ですよ。
失礼しました奥様。
Goda, you fucked up.
誠に失礼しました。
It's part of why Soul Calibur is rad. That's true.
まずいんとちゃうか。
I always love being welcomed back to the stage of history.
下手したらお父さん、事件が起こってることさえ知らんのやで。な。
さあ、どうでしょう。
Keenly noticing that people were starting to doubt Kinzo's existence, Kanon mumbled those words.
最後にお父様に会ったのは誰？
What if he was already dead?
私です。昨夜、バトラ君が黄金を見つけたと騒ぎになる直前まで、お父様の書斎で一日の
I
報
hope
告をしておりま
Octopath
す。
2 is good as well. I didn't really care for the first one very much.
昨夜の23時頃ですね。
やむを得ねえ。
Oh no, it's the INTJ smile.
ここを開こう。
なんですって？ここは当主様の大切な書斎であり、研究室です。許可なく犯すなど誰にも許されませんよ。ここにいる最高序列者は誰？私よ。後ろ宮家序列第
I
3位
mean,
のこの
it's actually
私。
probably technically Battler now.
もし開けてお父様にお叱りを受けるなら、それもまた最高序列者の役割よ。緊急事態につき、ここを開けるわ。鍵あるんでしょ？開けなさい。
開けなさい。
ご存知とは思いますが、書斎の扉はマスターキーでは開きません。
最近は源氏様からも鍵をお取り上げになられ、
I know, Kinzo got a big
日本の
grumpy.
鍵はすべて親方様がご自身でお持ちになっておら
Battler
れま
does
した。
have the ring. He's got it. He's wearing
で
it
すので
probably.
この扉を開ける2本の鍵が
Actually, Natsuhi says has them. Shannon's just covering for her. We know this.
密室。
She's finally excited. Ooh, a closed room. Good.
やっと少し面白くなりました。これで書斎の中で
It's
金蔵さん
pretty
が
neat.
ベッドで首を切られて死んで
I
い
don't think
た
that
ら
would be. Actually, well, it's Kinzo, so it would be neat. But we already know that's not the case.
不謹慎が過ぎますよ、エリカさん。とにかくお分かりの通り、この扉はお父様が持つ鍵でしか開きません。つまり外からお父様に接触することは殺人犯であっても不可能ということです。ですから当主様が無事であるのは間違いありません。だからってお父様の安否を確かめなくていいって論法にはならないでしょ。あなた尊敬するお父
Well, how
様
are we
の
gonna
無
get in
事
the
を
room,
そんなに
smarty
確かめた
pants,
くないの？
Ava?
そういうわけでは。
The atmosphere, which had been so agitated a second ago, suddenly went cold, and an eerie feeling filled the room as everyone stared at Natsuhi. You watched the 80s Transformers movie the other day? That's a good movie. It's a great movie. It's got, like, insane breakneck pacing, but it's entertaining throughout, and it's beautiful as well. They got that Toei money in that movie. They could understand why Natsuhi would protect the study under normal circumstances. People knew that she probably didn't want to disturb the research of Kinzo, a man she certainly respected, and she was therefore trying to keep the unpleasant relatives away. However, this was an extraordinary situation. a murder had occurred. Natsu's persistence in keeping things quiet for Kinzo even in a situation like this was hard to understand using common sense.
今この島で起こっている殺人事件はおそらく非分をなぞる味方殺人になると思われます。
How do I think Erica dresses when she's not wearing Jessica's hand-me-downs? Probably a lot like this. Everybody commented on how well these clothes like fit her demeanor. I imagine it's similar.
あの非分を
She's got that kind of gothic Lolita
味方殺人だとして見
vibe.
直すならさらに事件は続き合計で13人の命が奪われる計算になります。13人という犠牲者がどれほどの
Like
人
most
数
of
か
us, basically.
ご存知ですか？
おいおい、この島に何人いると思ってんだ。そのほとんどってことじゃねえか。
It sure would,
No, no,
Rudolph.
違います。
No, no.
私の知る限りミステリー誌で最も死者が出る連続殺人は
Forgot how much Rudolph looks like Noah Bright.
犯人も含めて全
I
員
can
が
kind
死
of
亡
see
し
it.
たイギリスの某作品の10人です。
Oh boy, we all love Agatha Christie
日
here.
本ミステリー界では先生術師が探偵役を務
The
めたあの
Tokyo
作品
Zodiac Murders. I haven't heard of that one, but it's probably good.
まあこっちは10人未満ですが知ってました？このまま13人死ぬと世界ミステリー史で最悪の
This isn't a genre
最
though.
高の名誉
This is real life.
13
Sort of.
人連続殺人事件が完成するんですよ。それどころかもしこの島の全員を殺してしまったらなんと世界最高の連続殺人
Erica,
ミステリーと
presumably this would include you, so I don't know if you should be super happy about this idea.
歴史的快挙の連続殺人ミステリーが起こってしまうことになるかも。ねえ知ってました皆様方。この事件の犯人全世界全歴史のミステリーを塗り替えかねない。
It's a bit of a. I feel like you're flexing a little hard here, Ryukishi. My mystery is the coolest
皆
mystery.
様方はとっくに気づいてましたよね。推理好きならミステリーの女王の作品
Yes,
が
we've
出
all
題
read Agatha Christie.
さらに日本人なら新本格ミステリー
The
くらい
seatbelt scene from Tales Gets Trolled. It's kind of like that, yeah.
皆さん本当に読書足りてます
ダメだな。
Yeah, say the line, Battler.
なら、お前もまだ読書が足りてねえぜ。
何か私間違いを言いました？
Erica, who had been chatting away happily all by herself up until a second ago, changed her expression into a displeased glare in an instant.
日本ミステリー界の話だが、新本格よりも先に新下作派の一人が別の作
Sakaguchi
品を書き上
Ongo,
げているぜ。
non-serial murders. Owned. I'm a bigger nerd than you are, Erica Ferruto.
同じじゃないですか。
記録はタイでも読者に犯人探しをさせた作品だってことに注目すれば、あんたくらい博識なら
Oh,
単な
he
る
did
死
it
体の数だけ
first.
じゃなく作品の傾向を照らし合わせてあげるべきじゃなかったのかい？
You're a fake mystery fan, Erica. Look at her face. Erica glared at Battler with an expression that couldn't be fully described with the word shock, and her arms shook as she stood there, lost for words. She is coping and seething. What a nerd! You're such a nerd, Burncastle.
の方がミステリーとしての知名度は高いもんね。新下作派の中に推理物があったなんてうっかり見落としちゃうわよね。
Lambda Delta kept on hitting the table, overcome with laughter. Even Burncastle, who had been struck with humiliation, snorted and started pounding the table and laughing in the same way. It is pretty funny, I guess. You really got me, Lambda Delta. It was pretty funny.
面白い面白い
See, they're having fun. Our girlies are having a great time.
やるじゃないバトラのコマ
Trivia fail. That's a really good face. Sorry, that was a really good face.
バトラさんって結構読んでます。
本読まねえよ。
I don't know anything about books.
嘘ばっかり。かなり博識じゃないですか。
本を読んでるなんてご大層なこと。
I'm
俺には
a
とても
book
言えやし
reader.
ねえぜ。本を読んでるってのはな、年にほんの100冊も読まないようなやつがうかつに口にしていいことじゃねえんだぜ。
I don't know. Who has the time to read 100 books?
文才って。
とにかくやな、そんな大事件に発展さ
Sorry
せ
to
るわけには
interrupt
い
the
かんで。
nerd off here.
そうだな。とにかく今は親父の安否を確認するのが最優先だ。しかしどうする。電話もノックも無視。鍵は内側。これじゃお手上げだ。この分厚い扉をぶち破るのか。そいつは難儀な話だぜ。
ひょっとするとお父様は何者かに襲われて大怪我をしていて、誰かの助けを待っているのかもしれない。この非常時だもの。
Yeah, what if Dad's in dire straits?
お父様だって分かってくださるわ。それで叱責があるようなら私が甘んじて受けようじゃない。
しかし扉を破るなどあまりに無礼。
He would be so mean.
窓は？
そうです。窓です。
We can climb through the
3
window,
階の
yes.
窓まで
Throw a
届
rock
くはし
through
ご
it.
か何かはありませんか？
Throw a rock through the window.
窓を破れば中に入れるはずです。
Erica finally came back to her senses, and her tone regained its decisive edge.
3階の窓なんて危険でございますよ。
Yeah, no. Battler is like at college age. He's about to go into college. He's probably read a book.
やってみなければわからな
I
い
just
さ。
think it's funnier to think he's dumb.
3階まで届くはしごはねえのか。
I don't know, 3-floor tall ladder.
そこまでの
It's
長さ
pretty
はない
big.
かと。
ああ、ならボイラー室のはしごはどうですか。以前雨どいの上に鳥が巣を作った時、それを使った覚えが。ええ、あれなら届きますとも間違いありません。
He must have been extremely happy about thinking something Canon hadn't. Looking pleased with himself as though he had won something, he glanced around at everyone. He was probably hoping that Natsuki would praise him, but she quickly avoided his gaze. Of course, Canon had known about that ladder too. However, in order to protect Kinzo's secret, he had intentionally pretended to have forgotten.
この
Good
天気
job,
ですし
Goda.
風も強いです。いくらなんでも危険では。
同感だ。大怪我をしても明日までは病院にも行けないのですぞ。
中庭なら風の影響が少ないかもしれないわ。とりあえず様子を見てみる価値はあると思うけど。
Yeah, I don't know, it does seem pretty dangerous with the winds, a 3-story tall ladder, it's gonna get wobbly.
いやー、しかし3階までとなるとなかなか
I
に
would never put
これが
myself in
大
danger. I'd
変。
make one of you do it.
鳥の巣の片付けの時もほとんどの使用人たちが尻込みしてしまい、それをこの不祥豪だがという
Alright,
こ
Goda,
て
you're
出て
really
見
proud
事
of
に
your
果
bird
たしたの
nest
です。
thing.
よし、何の問題もないで。
Alright, Goda, you climb
何
the
しろ
ladder.
届くはしごに。
実績のある人間もいるんだし。
はい。
Owned. I don't know what... It does sound like you volunteered yourself, Goda. I don't know what you were expecting. Goda's so funny. I like it. He's grown on me a lot because he's so funny. The courtyard was surrounded on all four sides, so while the rain was still fierce, the winds had almost no effect. Fortunately, the ceiling jutted out a bit, so even the rain wasn't so bad.
よし、はしごを立てかけてみるか。気をつけろよ。怪我すんなよ。
Rudolph and Battler carried the special ladder, which was designed for work on high places. 2 umbrellas followed the pair. Shannon and Canon were holding the umbrellas and sheltering them from the rain.
俺たちは濡れても平気だぜ。
Cannon's so short though, you must have to reach his arm all the way
下
up.
に戻ってね。ゴーダさん、膝の調子は悪くてもはしごクレイは抑えられるだろ。
はいはいはい。ヒアルロン酸さえ十分ならはしごもスルスルなのですが。
Oh, he wiggled his way out of it.
本当に申し訳ない。
Yoda clambered forward to replace Shannon and Cannon. As she watched this, Kyrie giggled.
親父、金槌。
おう、マトラ。お前、アスレチックは好きか？
You're an athletic guy.
アスレチックより日曜大工を頑張るか
Oh,
っこ
look
い
at
い
that.
親父
They're
が好きだぜ。
getting along.
こいつ、やれやれ。たまには息子の前でいいとこ見せてみるか。
Look at that. They
Matora,
can be a
Goda-san.
good father-son duo.
はしご、しっかり押さえててくれよ。あと、ちゃんと上を見てろよ。俺が手を滑らせて、この金槌を落っことしちまうかもしれない
Collapse
から。
Vigil, is that backstory piece from like I heard like some of Goda's was backstory was cut from the visual novel and was in some other literature. Is that what you're referring to?
安心しろよ。
Because I didn't remember it being brought up that he was in a labor dispute at his old job. Just that he quit from some hotel. After putting the hammer they'd gotten to smash the window in his pocket and cracking his knuckles, Rudolph started climbing. Sure hope nothing bad happens to him.
ルドルフ様、
Yeah, he'll be
大丈夫
fine.
でし
He's
ょ
a
うか？
hardy man.
大丈夫よ。あの人アクション映画向きだし、それにスポーツだって得意なんだから。
得意のスケートが
It's thoroughly
はしご登り
unimportant,
に
but
どう
it's a
役
nice
立つか
backstory
聞か
note.
せて
Maybe I'll
ほし
read
い
that
ぞ。
later, that Goda backstory.
俺はイナバウアー、常に大ピンチ。
I don't get this reference.
なんだかんだ死なないか
I
ら
don't
大
get
丈
that
夫。
Ina Bauer reference, sorry.
それより鎧
I
で
don't
降
know
り
what
て
Ina
こうな
Bauer
った。
is.
お父様の書斎では夜鎧戸を下ろす習慣はないの？
いえ、お部屋に入ることが許されている時には朝と夜に開け閉めをいたします。
ただここしばらくは不要とのことでしたので開けっぱなしになっていたと思います。
なるほど。お父様はお怒りになるわよね。お休み中に息子が窓を割って入ってきたら。
It'll be fine.
それはおそらく。
窓を割らずに済むといいわね。
Both Shannon and Cannon knew that Kinzo no longer existed in this world. Natsuki had ordered them to interfere as much as possible, but now that it had come to this, there was nothing the two of them could do. They had tried to interfere by pretending they didn't know about a ladder that could reach up to the third floor window, but because of Goda's showing off, that ladder had been found. Rudolph carefully climbed the ladder. He would reach the third floor window very soon. As he did this, Shannon and Cannon stared at him, looking uneasy. After this, what will happen next? To the two of them. To Madam. To the Master. Very soon, Rudolph will reach the window.
この部屋の結界も
Rip.
もはやこれまでか。
It's the end of your job, I guess. Oh, hi, Kinzo
乗り
goes.
越えようと兵がよじ登ってくるぞ。まさに落城は目前というところよ。私にいつでも消え去る覚悟はできておるぞ。
Boy, am I glad Kinzo's out there and we're in here. But I forgot, who's the sheriff?
泥をすすってでも生き延びてもらわねばならぬでな。後のことは考える。今はここを逃れよ。
とはいえ、どうしたものか。廊下には未だエヴァたちが陣取り、窓にはルドルフが迫っている。扉にも窓にも退路はないぞ。
ならばベッドの下に隠れ潜むもありか
うん、私には玉座にて待ち受けることさ
Not at all. Get under the bed, old man.
そなたの人生ならばそれも潔し。しかし今のそなたはわらわと夏日に生かされる亡霊よ。亡霊は亡霊らしく ベッドの下かクローゼットに潜むと相場が決まる。
その程度のことで
I
奴ら
doubt it.
の目を欺けるのか。
But you know, it's worth a shot.
やれやれ。
大丈夫、私がついてるわ。最後の瞬間には私があんたを脱出
Just put him in a hole.
危険。
Put him in your hole, Gop.
悪魔とて暗魔法の毒素に焼かれればただでは済みまい。
大丈夫よ。それに私そのくらいヤバくないとドキドキしないの。
頼もしいでわかった。私はベッドの下。
There you go, old man. Get under there.
お嬢さん、ルドルフがもうじきの
How big is the hunter's side of his bed?
が気が変わった。わらわがここを守る。そなたはロノウェと身を隠す。
なんですって。話が違います。ここはガープに任せ、お嬢様は避難されることになっていたはずです。
Though Renove should have been used to her fickleness, this surprised him for the first time in a long while. Beato may have been a powerful queen, but she was also an important piece that mustn't be exposed to danger. Wow, how subtle! How subtle that they call Natsuhi the king and Beato the queen. Though she was strong, running to the front lines without any plan would not be a praiseworthy move.
何の気まぐれ？
ただの気まぐれだ。そなたに任せて紅茶をすすってられるほど。
What did Ryukishi mean by
おらぬ
this?
のでな。早速暴れてみたくなっただけだ。
わかったわ。あなたのゲームだもの。あなたの好きにするといいわ。私は消した第一の番の死体が暴かれることがないよう。
Yeah, you go hang out with those dead bodies, Gap. I guess that's fun for you.
すまぬな。そなたの見せ場を奪って。
よろしいのですか、お嬢様。
わらわは目立つのが三度の飯より好きであること
I
は
also like these
そなたも
things.
知っておろうが、ガープの出番も食ってしまっただけだ。気にするでない。
Renove and Gop both fell silent. The two of them had already noticed. Lady Berncastle, who used Furudo Erica as a piece, was a terrifying opponent. This fight would probably be terrifying as well. Beato couldn't expose Gop, her friend, to this danger. Beato bluffed and said that wasn't the case, but Renove and Gop had already figured it out. Therefore, after confirming Beato's resolve one last time and seeing that she was completely firm in her decision, they nodded in silence and accepted it.
わかったわ。この場はあなたに任す。おえ気をつけて。
わらわの活躍を存分に見守るがよかろう。
おそらくベルンカステル卿は金蔵の不在を
Yeah, that's not going to be good for you. It's going to hurt with all that anti-magic toxin she's spitting out.
密室での戦いは本来ガープの方が得意とします。クイーンは広い場所で戦ってこその支配者です。楽な戦いにはなりませんぞ。
百も承知よ。わらわは今その夏日の危機をガープに任せて高みの見物ではわらわの筋も通らぬわ。
かしこまりました。ごぶ。
You gotta dab on Erica. Gotta do a Fortnite dance after you own her with your unfacts and unlogic.
ちょいと鼻であしらい。やばくなったら金
I'll just grab the old man and make a break for it.
簡単なものよ。扉に窓に過去に未来にいくらでも逃げ出す場所はあるわ。密室にさせるものか。
姿はなくともすぐ近くで応援してるわ。頑張って。
Wow, 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 wow. Gop and Renove both became a swarm of gold butterflies and disappeared, and Kinzo melted into the darkness beneath the bed. Wow, 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 wow. Then, Beato also became a swarm of gold butterflies and melted away inside the study. After that, All figures and signs of life had disappeared from the study, and it once more regained a silence as though no one had been there from the beginning. Then, Rudolph's outline slipped into view from beyond the window's curtain. He's breaking in, he's busting through. Rudolph busting through. As he yelled, he hit the window. His foothold was so uncertain that just hitting the window felt life-threatening. But of course, this was Rudolph, the show-off. Deciding that he couldn't do anything stupid with so many people watching from below, he suppressed the fear from being so high up, and boldly knocked on the window.
じいさまめ、聞こえてねえのか。
どうでしょう。金槌を落とさないでくれると嬉しいのですが。
That would be bad.
何秒経った？
窓を叩いてから今30秒経ちました。
やっぱり
Yeah, never uses ellipses.
その親方様が
Grandpa will be very cranky.
その怒りを受けるのは自分の役目と豪語してくださる方がいるから大丈夫。
See, Ava's fine with it. She'll have a good day.
十分よ。やって。
お、親父め。割った後で文句言うんじゃねえぜ。
You know, if he weren't dead. He hit it several times, and eventually a fist-sized hole opened up in the glass. Because of his unstable footing, this took a lot of effort. Magane mode? Very well. Using the end of the hammer skillfully, he brushed aside the now fractured bits of glass and opened the hole further, stuck his hand through it, and unlocked the window. Then, after a hard struggle, Rudolph somehow managed to open the window and his body slipped through into the study. After that, he flopped onto the floor, using his entire body to enjoy the relief of having a ground under him. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Kinzo's study was a small villa he had created inside the mansion. A study, a library, a place to sleep, and a bathroom and washroom. It was divided into multiple rooms. That's right, with all this at your fingertips, it wouldn't be hard to spend your days in this study without leaving at all. The bed was empty. There were marks on it that made it seem as though someone had slipped out, but there was no one in sight. Ninja movies. I love a good ninja movie. Rudolph tried placing his hand on the bed, but he couldn't feel any heat at all. Not only was there no heat, it felt completely ice cold. And the bed wasn't the only thing that was ice cold. The air inside the room and even the presence about it, if that's the right word for it, even that felt ice cold. To Rudolph, it felt as though Kinzo had slipped out of this room a long time ago. Wrinkles in the bed, the slight angle of the chair. Here and there were many marks that would doubtlessly have been cleaned or fixed up if someone had come in to make the beds. That would be the same general time period as the brutal murder case. Guess we can't be sure Kinzo's absence and the crime are completely unrelated. It's Rudolph investigating hour. For the time being, he leaned out the window. He told Kyrie and the others in the courtyard to come back up since he was going to unlock the door. Then he pushed the button on the study desk and released the door's auto-lock. There was a heavy clunking sound, and Natsuhi and the rest dashed in immediately.
お父様、おはようございます。
親父じゃなくて悪いな。開けたのは俺だ。
金蔵さんはいらっしゃいましたか？
いいや、ベッドを抜け出した後はあったが。
He really didn't think of looking under the bed, huh? I guess they figured Kinzo would never do something like that. Now, I wonder how, if they do find out Kinzo's dead, how they're gonna swing this, because that body's been rotting for like 2 years. You can't say he died recently unless you perfectly preserved it somehow. Or it ends up getting burnt. That's how we usually find Kinzo in previous games, is that his body got all burnt up, and I guess that's, now we know why that is. It was to hide that it had long been dead.
それはでもお父様は気まぐれな方。唐突に夢で啓示を受けたと言い出して深夜に起き出してお屋敷の中を歩き回るようなこともよくありました。そうですよね、南條先生。
確かにそういうこともありましたな。とにかくその気まぐれな方。
Oh, that Kinzo.
なあ熊沢さん。
そうですわね。何かおかしな夢でも見て寝床を抜け出したのかもしれませんね。
Kinzo do be crazy.
よくあることでございますとも。
じゃあ抜け出してどこに行ったっちゅうんや。お父
Bit
さん
quirky, yeah.
ひょっとして事件に巻き込まれた可能性も高いんとちゃうんか。
ほらね。
ほらね。
お父様の安否を確かめるべきだったでしょ。
Why are the servants still keeping up the lie at this point? Well, it's their job. Basically.
この部屋にいないとは限らないわ。ひょっとすると犯人に縛られてクローゼットの
They
中に
probably
閉じ
feel the
込められているという
consequences
こ
of
ともあ
not
るかも
lying
し
are
れない
worse than lying and getting found out.
ですね。探しましょう。
当主様の大切な書斎ですよ。みだりに物に触れないように。
ああ、そうだ。犯人さんに申し上げておきます。
She's already fingered Natsuhi, huh? When Natsuhi heard this said right in front of her, her heart froze. But Erika had only just happened to be standing right in front of Natsuhi when she said it. She had directed her words at the room at large. Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe so, maybe she's just trying to fuck with her, who knows? She hadn't been speaking to Natsuhi in particular. Natsuhi turned her back on Erika, trying to prevent her faltering expression from being noticed.
私、記憶力は写真
Oh
並みです
boy.
ので、何かの証拠を隠蔽しようとして現場を改ざんすればすぐにわかります。こんなところでボロを出して私を失望させないでください。フーダニットが犯人のボロや失言を特定
Erika
でき
doing like
る
the
ミステリー
fucking
な
lame ass Sherlock
才能だと
shit.
思いません？
Like the equations flying around her head.
何を言っているのか分かりかねますが、不謹慎な発言は慎むように。お父様、いらっしゃいませんか？お返事をしてください。
Natsuhi started walking around and calling out in a loud voice, refusing to let Erika say any more. There was a knock. Kyrie and the others who had gone down to the courtyard had returned.
やっぱりお父様はいない？
どっかに踏んじばられて閉じ込められてるかもね。それを探すところだ。
よくこんなところにいつまでも閉じこもっていられるもんだぜ。
When you first read episode 5, your friend described Erika as the DM's girlfriend. She does kind of have that energy. Like we said, she's just Burncastle's self-insert. Her Mary Sue self-insert OC.
諦めよう姉さん。もうなるようにしかならない。
奥様はどうなさるつもりかしら。
自分でついてきた嘘のつけさ。
Yeah, probably.
運命は神様に委ねましょう。
There's not really much getting out of this one, I imagine. Many people clambered around Kinzo's vast study, looking here and there. Inside the closet and in the bathtub, even in the refrigerator and under the study desk. They looked everywhere, almost as though they were it in a game of hide and seek. However, not only were they unable to spot Kinzo, they couldn't even find a single suspicious mark.
当主様がお留守であることはもう十分です。これ以上当主様の大切な書斎を荒らさないように。
No, don't be mean to Papa.
そうですよ。親方様は勝手に物を動かされるのを
He
何
hates
よ
it.
り嫌いますからね。
お父様の姿はどこにもないわ。やっぱり事件に巻き込まれたのかしら。そうと決めつけるわけにもいきませんが。
Natsuhi averted her gaze once more.
大丈夫だ、夏日。まさに排水の陣というところです。
Yeah, we're kind of screwed. I don't know if the confidence from Beato is well earned here.
どこかへ散歩にでも行っているのだろうとごまかすつもりでいました。しかし
殺人が起こり大勢が殺された屋敷内をのんびり真夜中の散歩としゃれ込んで
I totally would, though.
私ならばむしろ本当にやり
I was joking, okay.
こらこら金蔵、おとなしくベッドの下に隠れておれ。大丈夫だ夏日、落ち着くがよい。いるものをいるとは断じる
Having a conversation with my Koktobos to avoid having a panic attack. That's what Natsuki is doing right now.
すなわち人間の世界はいようといまいといることのできる世界なのだ。そのいることのできる影こそが我ら魔女の悪魔の世界。
悪魔の証明ですね。
だから
Ah, the good old devil's proof. Everybody loves this one.
悪魔の力がそなたを絶対に守るぞ。
お父様と夫の名誉が守れるなら、私はこの身を悪魔に捧げようとも構いません。
Demons.
良い覚悟だ。案ずるな。絶対に金蔵は殺させない。
Will not let Kinza be killed, even though he's already dead. At that time, a dry sound suddenly rang out twice. Erica had clapped her hands, seeking everyone's attention. Though such an action should have been above a guest's place, for some reason it already felt like a natural right of hers. After all, she was the detective.
これでもう十分と思います。この書斎に後宮金蔵さんの姿はありません。
He gone.
ああ、隠れられる場所は全て探したぜ。親父の姿はない。
そして不審なものも何も見つけられなかった。
Kinzo's ass is missing.
何も見つけられませんでした。
Erica said it again. They hadn't been able to discover anything.
ならこの部屋にいつまでも長居するべきではありません。これほどの大勢で書斎を物色したなど、当主様が知られたらどれほどお怒りになられることか。エヴァさん、あなたは責任を取られる覚悟があるとおっしゃいましたね。生涯絶縁されるくらいの覚悟はおありなのでしょうね。
Are you prepared for the death you've earned, little woman?
それを決めていいのはお父様ご自身だわ。あんたが決めることじゃないわよ。
お静かに。状況を整理した
Why
い
are
と
we
思い
keeping
ま
the
す。
Kinzo bit up? It's because Natsuki doesn't want. It's for Krause's debts, right? They want Krause to have his full inheritance so he can pay off the debts because he's been using the Ushiramiya family fortune as collateral. And if they find out Kinzo is dead, that means they'll have to read the will. And, you know, when the inheritance is dispersed, they'll find out that someone's been embezzling Kinzo's wealth. Your daughter is dead, why do you care? Well, I mean, it's her duty as a wife. That's what she's always saying.
昨夜の23時に最後にこの部屋で金蔵さんにお会いになられたのは夏日さんですね。それをどなたか証明できますか？
証明？
ええ、そうです。だって夏日さんが本当に昨夜の23時にここを訪れたかどうかは夏日さんしか自称していません。
What if she's just a liar?
金蔵さんが昨夜確かに夏日さんがやってきたと証明してくれればいいのですが、その肝心の金蔵さんがおられませんので。
アリバイはミステリーの基本ってわけ。
ええ、そうです。
Alibis, alibis, alibis.
アリバイは大事です。
Alibi.
どうせ推理の役にはほとんど立たないのですが、その辺の重箱をつつかないといけないと。
It's one of those things, I think, where, yeah, her daughter's dead, but she's also dug herself too deep to give up. It's that good old it's that good old sunken cost fallacy, where it's like, well, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. If I just give up now, it'll all be for nothing.
じい様の失踪についてだけはアリバイ探しをするのかよ。
She doesn't know she's gonna die in the next 24 hours.
本当に気まぐれなやつだぜ。
あ、ご安心を。もちろん第一の場合の
Nobody knows
殺人に
that.
ついても
Just because we've been through several games, you gotta remember many of the pieces are unaware of
みっ
this.
ちりとアリバイについて全員に確認させていただきますので、こうそれでどなたか
夏日さんが23時にここを訪れたことを証明はできませんか？できなければ夏日さんが最終目撃者であることから疑わなければな。
私が信用できないというのですか？
いえいえ、むしろ逆です。あなたには犯人であってほしくないんです。だってすっごくつまらないじゃない
She's
ですか。
such a bitch.
一番怪しい人物が本当に犯
The
人だった
most,
なん
only the
て
most worst, most third-rate mysteries have the
三流ミ
most suspicious person as the culprit.
夏日さんが怪しい
She's pretty suspicious. Let's be honest.
待って
She's
くれ
pretty suspicious right now.
どうしてそういう論法になるんだね。
そうですとも、奥様が怪しいなど出現にも程があります。
静かに。南條先生、ゴーダ、ありがとう。エリカさん、それだけの無礼な発言をなさるに足る根拠は終わりなんでしょうね。
すっごいシンプルで嫌なんで
It's
すけど、
so easy. It
テレビ
sucks.
ドラマレベルの根拠で恐縮ですが、それでもよければ。
聞かせてもらおうじゃないか。
When Battler glared at her, a cold expression rose to Erica's face for an instant. But it was only for an instant. After smiling peacefully and gazing around at everyone, she started to talk. She looked like the main character in a play who had come out onto the stage bathed in a spotlight.
今朝の話です。殺人が起こって大騒ぎになった時のことを思い出してください。事件のことを金蔵さんに伝えたいけれど、いくら電話しても出てくれない。その時のことです。
とにかく連絡が取れんのはまずいんとちゃうか。下手したらお父さん事件が起こってることさえ知らんのやでなあ。
さあどうでしょう。
Keenly noticing that people were starting to doubt Kinzo's existence, Canon mumbled those words.
最後にお父様に会ったのは誰？いつ？
私です。昨夜バトラ君が黄金を見つけたと騒ぎになる直前までお父様の書斎で一日の報告をしておりました。
昨夜の23時頃ですね。
Oh, she was the one who said it. She put the idea in Natsuhi's head to trip her up. That's pretty cute. Erica chuckled significantly.
それが何だというのバカバカしい。
多分キリエさんも狙って振ったんだと思います。そうですね。
Oops. Got her ass.
振ったとはどういう意味でしょうか。
ひょっとすると誰か引っかかるかと。
For her little trick.
そうですね。ありがとう、キリエさん。実はあの発言はあなたがなさらなければ私がするつもりでおりまし
Just
た。
some really smart girlies.
最後に親方様に会ったのは誰かという質問にそんなにも意味があるというんですか。
はい、状況的に考えて最後に会ったのは誰という質問に対し、夏日さんが私ですと即答するのはとても不自然なんです。
どうしてですか。奥様は包み隠さず真実を。
静かに。それがどう不自然だというのですか。
どうしてあなたは23時以降金蔵さんが誰とも会わないと確信できるのですか。
それはお休みになられたのを見届けたからです。
He was eepy.
普通に考えればその後朝までお休みになられ誰とも会われないだろうと考えるのは自然なことです。
状況的に考えて最終目撃者は何かの関与を疑われかねませんでした。普通の人間なら夏日さんと同じ立場だった時は
You're not normal, Natsuhi.
23時に会いましたとは言いませんですね、キリエさん。
ええ、そうよ。
Yeah, what if you were suspicious, why would you say, ah yes, I was the last person to see this potentially dead person?
23時に会ったのは私です。
I was not the last person to see him. I was just the
に会った
person
人間
to
か
see
どう
him
か
at
は分かり
2300.
ません。になるわ。
グッド。
Good.
最終目撃者だと名乗ることは普通困難なんです。 自分が目撃した後に誰も目撃できないと確信で三流ミステリーですと、最終目撃者は大抵犯人で、自分が殺したのだからその後には誰とも会えるわけがないと、
It's a funny little
こういう
trick.
論法で進むわけですが。
そんなのちょっとした言葉の言い違いではありませんか。そんなに目くじらを立てて取り立てるほど。
そうだそうだ。
They're just words.
そんなの
People
は
say
揚げ足
words
取
all
り
the
だ。
time.
そんな言葉尻だけで夏日さんを疑うのはちょっと早とちりなんじゃないかね。
それに誰も目撃できないと確信できる理由とあなたはおっしゃいますが、それももちろんあるではありませんか。奥様は親方様がお休みになるところを見届けられてから退出されたのです。常識的に考えて翌朝まで誰とも会わないだろうと考
All
え
the
るのは
servants are
自然な
rushing
こ
to
と
her
です。
defense.
いいえ、それが全然自然なことじゃないんです。何しろ夏日さん、南條先生、そして熊沢さんの3人がついさっき交渉、これもどうぞ思い出してください。
最後に会ったのは夏日姉さんよね。昨夜の11時頃。それ以降に書斎を抜け出してどこかへ行ってしまったということなのかしら。
それはでもお父様は気まぐれな方。
Yeah, what? Oops, hoist by your own petard. What if you went out like you said he did?
お屋敷の中を歩き回るような
Then
ことも
someone
よ
else
くあ
might
り
have
ました。
seen him.
そうですよね、南條先生。
確かにそういうこともありましたが。
So, you're a liar.
とにかくその気まぐれな方だ。なあ熊沢さん。
そうですわね。何かおかしな夢でも見て寝床を抜け出したのかもしれませんね。よくあることでございますとも。
ああ、じい様が深夜に突然
Oopsie.
寝床を抜け出すこともよくあった。
Tricked yourselves. You pulled out the rug underneath your own feet.
グッド、バトラさん、
グッド。
なかなかの記憶力です。つまり夏日さんをはじめとした後ろ宮本家の方々は、金蔵さんが深夜に気まぐれに起き出して徘徊する可能性があり得ることをよくご存知でした。そしてそれはよくあることだと認識されていました。
おかしいじゃない。お父様がよく夜中に徘徊することがあると知っていながら、朝まで寝床を絶対に抜け出さないなんて確信できるわけがないわ。ねえ。
確かに三流ミステリーだね。
Everybody's being so mean to
よく
Natsuhi.
ラストの5分で犯人がいつから自分が犯人だと分かってたのかと聞くと、探偵が答えそうなシチュエーションだ。
ですよね。だからげんなりしてます。これで本当に夏日さんが犯人だったら、お茶の間ミ
It's
ステ
too
リー
easy.
化で
It's
すか
too
ら。
obvious. There must be
だ
another
から私、
twist.
夏日さんの疑いを真っ先に晴らしたいんです。このミステリーが三流じゃないってことを一番最初に確かめたくて。
Think very hard, Natsuhi. You can do this.
焦ることはないぞ夏日。探偵気
Talk
取
to
り
your
男
ghost
に
GF about
言
it.
葉遊びよ。だからなんだというのか。この発言だけでそなたをどう追い詰められるというのか。地獄の法廷とて陪審員の悪魔たちは全員
I don't know if that's
そなたの
exactly
無罪
encouraging to say that you'd be considered innocent in hell, but okay.
うろたえず落ち着くのだ。
I don't know if that's gonna help her.
確かにそういう風に言われりゃ夏日おばさんが不審そうにも見えるさ。だが俺にはただの揚げ足取りにしか聞こえねえぜ。
でも怪しいわ。夏日姉さんが何かを隠してるかもしれないと疑うきっかけには十分だと思うけれど。
全くの言いがかりです。それに卑怯ですよ、エヴァさん。
I hate to do this in the middle of such an important scene, but I've got to take a break real quick. I have to use the bathroom, chat room. That's why I'm taking a break. I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to, it was getting dangerous, okay? It was getting dangerous, hench funds. I had to take the bathroom break, but we're back. It's no longer over. We're so back. We can finally find out what Erica's getting at here.
他ならぬあなたが証明できるではありませんか。
そうなんですか、エヴァさん。
あら、そうだったかしら。
Classic Ava moment.
ごめんなさいね。
Battler did in fact think thought he saw Kinzo, but he kind of doubted he saw it, so.
今の今まで夏日姉さんに会ったの忘れていたわ。
エヴァさんが夏日さんが23時の目撃者であることを証明で。
残念なことに、
Oh, you funny Ava.
夏日姉さんの言い分を一部は認めることができるわ。この部屋から出てきたということだけはね。
何が言いたいのですか。
私が言いたいのはこういうことよ。いいえ、ずっと前から言いたかったの。こんな悲惨な殺人事件の真っ最中にこんなことを言い出すのは本当に場違いだと分かっているけれど、今がちょうどいいタイミングだから言わせてちょうだい。分かってるわよね、夏日姉さん。
The servants gulped and held their breaths. It seemed that they hadn't been able to hide it after all. In the middle of this heavy silence, Ava fingered her trump card and Natsuhi tried to act calm. Both space and time grew heavy as lead and swallowed up everything.
金蔵さんっていつから
Just when
いらっ
did
しゃ
he
られないんで
disappear?
すか。
Where did he come from and where did he go? Erica's words, spoken almost casually, tore that atmosphere to pieces like shattering glass.
はっきり言うと、俺たちは今年は愚か、去年の親
Oh,
族
they're
会議でさ
thinking.
えあっちゃ
They're thinking.
そうや。
They're using their noodles, minions.
わしらは去年の時点から疑っとった。
What if he was always dead?
息子たちが殺されたこんな時にこんなことを追求だが、ひょっとしたら事件と関係があるかもしれんから。
Yeah, you hit that press button. This is just like Ace Attorney.
夏日姉さんたちにはお父さんの死を隠す動機があり得るの。お父さんの財産を横領しているかもしれない嫌疑よ。
もしお父様が死ねば財産分配のために調査が行われ、だからあんたはお父様がすでに亡くなっているのを隠しているのよ。
なるほど。ホワイトニットは十
Oh
分というわけ
boy.
ですか。
Drama. Drama bomb, everybody.
ますますにもって三流です。ああ、つまらない。
何を言っているのかわかりません。
Time for the coping.
当主様の死を隠していると、そんな暴言断じて許せません。
The reckless accusation that is definitely true.
奥様だけでなく日頃から他の使用人たちも親方様のお世話をし、その姿を見ていますとも。源氏さんやシャノンさんやカノン君や南條先生に熊沢さんだってよくお会いしている。私は信頼がないのか、昨年からずっと姿をお見かけしていませんが。
黙りなさい、ゴーダ。
Good job, Goda. Very helpful.
申し訳ございません。
夏日さん以外の目撃者はすべて雇用関係にある使用人だけではありませんか。金を握らせて口裏を合わせたなんて。はあ、本当に三流。くだらない、くだらない。がっかりですよ、夏日さん。だからもう断じてしまおうと思います。
何をですか。
後宮金蔵さん。
何か招かれざる客人。
あなたは存在していませんね。遺産問題であなたの死を知られたくない人間たちによってその死を隠蔽された。
Ah, you got me. You're right, I'm a ghost.
亡霊は亡霊らしく、とっとと現世を立ち去る。
You got me, you funny little scrunkly.
初めてお会いしたのに、ご挨拶もまだでしたね。これは申し訳ない。はじめまして、こんにちは。
そしてさようなら。
So close to Erica's face that you could have barely wedged a sheet of paper between them, Beato's pipe came to a sudden stop. Wow, 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 wow. Hi. Hi. We're in the dimension of detectives now. We're kicking it with Beato now. The fake one.
このゲームの探偵フルドエリカです。よろしくお見知りおきを。そしてこれからさようなら。
そなたがエンジェの次のデルンカステル教の駒であるか。あやつとは結局満足に戦えなくて残念だった。今度こそ手合わせできて嬉しいぞ。デルンカステル教の駒。
This one's a lot smarter than Anji.
マルチならあなたとは比べ物になりません。
It's a little fruity.
よろしくお手合わせを。
冷静よの。こうして魔女が登場してこれから魔法やファンタジーで戦おうというのにね。バトラ程度ならこんなのミステリーじゃないって。
It's true, he would do that. He's a funny little loser.
ああ、ミステリーでも最近はそういう異世界もポピュラーです。
Have they?
メタ的な空間から安楽室に座って
I don't. I've never heard of this. Is this like the chess dimension from Ace Attorney Investigations 2? Oh, okay. It's a funny little... We're breaking the fourth wall again, everybody.
魔女のくせに細かいこと気にしますね。
Maybe I should read that one though. The pure logic space sounds fun. I wonder if it's been translated. When Beato snapped her fingers, something bounced around the room at terrifying speed. It was a stake of the witch. A witch's wedge that contained the power of the blue truth within it. Of course, a mere human like Erica couldn't follow that terrible speed with her eyes. Erica understood this, so she didn't attempt to look every which way, stupidly trying to spot it. With a terrible sound, Lucifer's blue stake buried itself into Erica's right collarbone. It pierced all the way through her back. There she goes! Lucifer spun and rebounded, landed in front of Beato, and vanished with a shrill laugh. Erica wasn't blown back, but she had been run through by the blue wedge. I don't know why you thought using the blue truth on the detective would do anything to her. Oh, she's doing the blue truth now. Interesting.
そなたらが書斎に押し入るまでの6時間以上もの間、金蔵はいくらでもこの書斎を抜け出す余地があった。以上に、金蔵が存在しないと、
The song goes
そなた
hard,
に断
by the
言は
way.
できぬわ。
Beato announced that with an expression worthy of her title as a witch. Erica was silent. Was she too shocked to speak? There was no anguish in her expression. She was just quietly listening to Beato's blue truth. No, judging by her disdainful expression, it's probably more appropriate to say that Beato's words went in one ear and out the other. Gutto. It hurts a little bit. She tried pulling the front and back of the blue wedge that pierced her, but it didn't budge an inch. However, her indifferent, relaxed expression didn't budge an inch either.
抜けぬわ。青き真実は赤き真実によってしか打ち破れぬ。この島にやってきて一日を経たかどうかの客人であるそなたに理解しうる真
I
実
don't know.
など存在
She's
せ
a
ぬ。
smart cookie. She's probably figured out a thing or
そんなそなた
two.
に使える赤など存在しないのだ。つまりはチェックメイト。
なるほど。ここはそういう空間ですか。なら魔女と戦うにふさわしい駒が必要という
Oh
こと
boy,
です
here
ね。
we go. She's about to totally own this fake Beatrice.
私は探偵。人間の犯人を相手にするのを役目としましょう。あなたは魔女。魔女やら悪魔やらを相手にする役目なら、ふさわしい。ご紹介しましょう。ミス・ドラノール。
ドラノール？
あなたの出番のようです。
ドラノール。
Uh-oh, another new character.
やっぱりね、いつか絶対に持ってくる駒だと思ってたわ。
I guess we're about to find out who Diamond
魔
Diamond.
女を狩る銃のくさび、魔女狩り大好きをドラ
The
ノール。
10 witches with which to hunt witches, the Archbishop of the witch hunting Delanor.
悪魔との戦いにこれほどふさわしい駒はいないわ。私の分身たるエリカに魔女の最大の天敵ドラノール。私は2つのループで今やセブンスランクを支配したわ。見せてもらうわよ、ラムダデルタ、そしてベアトリーチェ。あんたたちの無駄なあがきよね。
I will read it, don't worry. I will read the tip section on this character. This song is good. Oh, okay. Okay, I have seen this one. I've seen this one before. I had no idea what the context was for her, though. The air shone brightly, and the piece Erica had guided there showed its true form. That form resembled a clergy member perfectly suited for confronting an evil witch.
はじめまして。ドラノール・エイノックスと申します。
Why did she capitalize some words? Even though this space was like a bomb just waiting to go off, she introduced herself in a neat and frank manner. I like her drills, though. Hang on, alright, we'll look at her tips, sure. Delanor A. Knox, a member of Eisern Jungfrau, the 7th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. That's a mouthful. In Japanese, she always ended her sentences in katakana. Oh, okay. A head inquisitor of heresy and a first-class archbishop. She is commonly known as Delanor of the 10 Wedges, or Death Sentence Delanor. The name Death Sentence comes from the fact that though inquisitors of heresy normally judge their targets to see whether they deserve the death penalty or not, Head Inquisitor Delanor is only dispatched after a case has been vigorously expected by the Great Court. Therefore, the very act of dispatching her is equivalent to a sentence of death. That's cool. Does the next at the bottom give more info? Not on characters, no, it just switches to the other characters. Oh yeah, we'll look at her pachinko. She's a lot smaller in the pachinko. And her, like, weird pants are back. Weird leggings, I guess. She's very scroomfy. Like, she's even shorter than Erica. Eisern Jungfrau means Iron Maiden. That makes sense. I love that band. Her out-of-place appearance, completely different from those of the demons and witches, felt blatantly odd and had a kind of severity to it.
そなたとは初対面であるが、噂はかねがね聞いておるぞ。ゆえに、初対面という気は全くせぬでな。
こちらこそミス・ベアトリッチ。アイゼルネ・ユングフラウはあなたについての詳細な資料を
We got a 600-page report on Beatrice.
それに常に目を通していますので、私も初対面の気がしません。
地獄の書記官なら600ページを6文字でまとめてみせる
わ。お伺いします。
近寄るな危険。
それは良きまとめです。
Danger.
帰還しましたら、あなたの資料を
She is Watashi wa danger desu. She is the danger. Cute. Right, it's a funny little word place. Execute.
世辞が過ぎるぞ、客人。
それでは続けましょう。ミス・ベアトリッチェ、首席異端審問官ドラノール、謹んでお相手いたします。
What is this? What? How is this even gonna
我らは
work?
初手を終えているぞ。そこのフルドエリカの青きくさびが抜けないならば、いつもの退屈な反抗師の仕事を再開するとよい。
このくさびとやら頼みます。
It hurts a little bit.
ベアトリッチェさん、この程度でチェックメイトの
It hurts a tiny amount. Not enough to not make me smug, though. After making a show of tapping her finger on the blue wedge that pierced her, Erica shrugged as though taunting Beatrice.
ベアトリッチェ。
大丈夫。少しからかってやるだけだ。
Beatrice, I don't know if we can gaslight gatekeep girl boss our way out of this one.
なに。いざとなったら、金蔵の亡霊をひっつかんで好きに逃げ出す。
That is funny. She does look a little bit like a Velvet Room attendant, I guess.
この部屋からいつだってどこへだって。
This room isn't locked at all. I can leave anytime I want.
無駄です。
ほう。
私に出会ったらそれが終焉です。逃しません。誰も逃げられない。
You're not allowed. That's a funny face she's making.
確
You're
か
not allowed to
にお
leave.
父様が突然目を覚ましてどこかへ行ってしまった可能性は否定できないわ。
She looks like the guy that ate that
それは
lemon
ありえな
in
い
The
って断
Simpsons
言できるのよ。
when his face all twisted up.
わかるわけもありません。あなたがこの扉の前で一晩中当主様が外へ出ないことを見張ってたとでも言うのですか？
見張っていたわ。
Oh, who is watching?
この子がね。
What?
金系慎んで
Hang on,
申し上げる。
there's too many new characters all of a
この扉より出
sudden.
入ること叶わぬと知るべしと申し上げ立てまつる英士隊。
Who are you?
書斎扉の封鎖を命じる者なりよ。
Banger alert, though, you're right, this song goes hard. The doors to heaven opened with a strong, unrelenting radiance like the sun's, announcing the arrival of Delaner's underlings. Those words were clad in the red truth and cut off the witch's method of escape. Oh, hi, it's the Cheesters. I was wondering when you would show up again.
大ベアトリーチェ卿ご無沙汰しております。同盟協定1516号および天海大法院の要請に基づき出動いたしました。以後のご無礼をお詫びします。書斎扉を象徴封鎖してに。
ね。
扉に近づかない方がいいと思いますね。
金系各書斎扉は昨晩23時から現在まで一度たりとも開かれなかった。
How come you get to speak in red? Why do you even care? Why are you here?
何ですかその紙切れは。
何の変哲もないレシート。
Oh, the receipt thing. Back from the very first episode.
でもね、このただの紙切れがあんたの嘘を立証しちゃうのよ。
Because the receipt would have fallen out if that were the case.
エヴァはゆうべあんたが書
We
斎から
played a
出
little
てきた
trick on you, Natsuhi.
隙を見て書斎の扉の隙間にレシートを
She
挟ん
pulled
どっ
this
たん
she
や。
pulled this trick 4 episodes ago. I had almost forgotten.
そしてそれは今ルドルフ君が扉を開けてくれた時に落ちたんや。
どういう意味かわかる？つまり昨夜の23時から現在までお父様がこの扉を開けたということはありえないということ。
Oopsie.
なんだって
Owned with our little trick.
ルドルフ、窓の鍵は閉まっていたのよね。
ああ、だからガラスを破った。
他の窓も全て施錠されているわ。構造上外から閉めることはできない。
Just like the ones in the guest house. Who are you? What? There's too many people now.
窓はすべて施錠されていたと知りたてまつれ。兵士隊よ、すべての窓を封鎖したまえ。
アイゼルネ・ユングフラウの名において兵士隊に禁止兵器使用の許可を与えるものなり。
了解であります。
Okay, there's the third Cheester sister.
禁止兵器、赤色弾頭、使用許可、起動コード、転送開始。
にゃ、パスが通らないね。410、キャプスロックを解除してもう一度。
She had caps lock on.
シエスタ隊は書斎扉並びに全窓を小銃封鎖完了。物理、概念他一切の通過が認められた場合、無警告で射撃することを
You ever pass through something
警告するであり
conceptually?
ます。
子衛星4機よりデータリンク
Archangel satellite.
誘導方式氷結型概念誘導
I love this dumb, like, techno babble that means absolutely nothing. It's just cool.
撃墜不能回避不能生存不能
It's so funny.
ベアトリーチェ卿でもコッパみじんに
The Cheester squad had laid down a pinpoint blockade over the door and all the windows. Escape would no longer be permitted through any of these.
これはわらわが歓迎するはずがされているの
Yeah,
は
it's some
わらわ
good
では
old,
ない
good old-fashioned Tooney shit.
シエスタ姉妹まで引き連れての表敬訪問とは恐れ入る
近景退路遮断を完了したこと謹んで申し上げたてまつる上司ドラノール
This
今こ
song
そ
goes
罪を断
hard.
ちて清めたまえご苦労でしたミス・ベアトリーチェあなたの態度立たせていただきました
Terminated.
扉からも出られず窓からも出られないだからもう逃さない
これ式でわらわを閉じ込めたつもりか
I don't know, maybe. Seems pretty, it seems pretty, locked up. The Inquisitor of Heresy and Heaven and her subordinates surrounded the witch. The subordinates used a powerful barrier to cut off Beato's methods of escape. Demons tend to resist capture, and as a result, they sometimes escape. However, angels counter by blocking off passages of escape, allowing them to eradicate their targets without fail.
つまりこの書斎は
Good old
夏
closed
日姉さん
room.
が昨夜就寝前のご挨拶とや
It
ら
was a
から
closed room the whole night. Nobody
ル
got
ドルフ
gotten in or out
が
because of the
扉を開ける
receipt.
までの間
ならお父さんがここにおらなあかんはずや
So where's the body,
しかし
Nazi?
お父さんの姿は影も形もないこらどういうこっちゃというわけや
落ち着けと何度も言っておる
Don't panic.
扉と窓を塞いだだけでこのベアトリーチェを閉じ込めたつもりなど
Don't panic.
超千番
We'll figure it out, bestie.
金蔵遊ぶつもりだったがどうやら客人にその気はないようだ引き際を謝らぬうちに失礼させてもらおう
We gotta get out of here, Kinzo. We gotta go.
この命惜しくはないが夏日のためにまだ死ねぬで
Beato waved her pipe and the air was split vertically. Then a pitch-black gate appeared there and slowly opened. It was a warp portal the same as the pitch-black holes that Gop used.
わらわの資料にはこう書かれていたはずだ神出鬼没
I can leave anytime I
どこへ
want.
でも現れどこへでも消えるとなわらわがある限り金蔵を
I can
捉えることなど
teleport.
不可能よ
It's kind of broken. The pitch-black gate opened. The gate led from everywhere and to nowhere. Both Beato and Kinzo would be sent to a place where no one could catch them. A place where no one could set foot in, much less chase after them.
ここは後ろ宮家当主の書斎ですよそしてお父様が直々に設計に携われた部屋でもあります扉を経ずとも外に出る仕掛けがあったとしても何の不思議もな
Oh,
い
we're
とは思
going
い
for
ませ
the
んか
good old secret passage one?
そうだそう
But
で
we
すよ
said secret passages aren't allowed. That goes against
親方様が隠
Nox's
し扉を持っ
rules.
てたとしても何の不思議もあり
Which
ません
explains the laner's last name.
確定そんなものがどこにあるのよ
それがわからないから秘密の隠し
I don't
扉
know,
なん
bitch.
です
It's hidden.
このお屋敷にはお父様しかご存じない仕掛けや秘密の扉がいくつもあります直接見たものはおりませんがこの屋敷の人間なら皆うすうすは知っていますそうですね
Back me up, Shannon.
親方様しかご存じない隠しツールがある確かに昔からささやかれております
The laner is just Ronald backwards from Ronald Knox. Yeah, of course.
確かに金蔵さんはそういう類の仕掛けは好きそうですな
しかも秘密の隠し
Yeah,
扉で
that's
ござ
why
います
she can lock the windows and the doors. She's here to make sure the mystery is truly a closed ring.
私たちごときが探しても見つからぬのは無理もないこと
なるほど。
Yeah, devil's
悪魔の
proof.
証明ってわけね。
You can always say there's some hidden passage that you don't know about and can't find.
私た
Just
ちに
because
は
you can't find it
この
doesn't
部屋
mean
に
it's not
隠し
there.
扉が存在する可能性を否定できない。そんなのデタラメよ。
I also think that's sweet creamy. I think I said as much a couple streams ago, where like that I remember they mentioned that that Kinzo bought this island Rokenjima from the American military after the occupation. So that would explain why there's stuff like the big tunnel that leads to Kuadorian. That Kinzo didn't have that built. That was there
お
because
父
of the
様の死を
military.
隠してる嘘がバレそうだからってよくもそんなことを。
そうやね。この書斎のどこに隠し扉があるんや。その存在を証明してみんかい。
証明不要。悪魔の証明である。隠し扉
The
の
blue
存在を
truth. It's interesting to see Beato using the blue truth.
よって金蔵がこの書斎より隠し扉で脱出した可能性を誰も否定することはできぬのだ。
Exactly true,
こ
Collapse
の部屋
Bill.
に
Oh,
隠
that's a
し
cool
扉
sword,
が
by the
存
way.
在することを許しません。
Beato's blue wedge, which had been fired off as a farewell gift, was crushed with a flash of Delaner's longsword, and the pitch-black gate was crushed as well. And it wasn't just crushed visibly and physically. The warp portal conceptualizing hidden doors would remain destroyed from that point onward.
どうして書斎の主でなければゲームマスターでもないそなたが
Because she's the conceptualization of Nox's mystery rules.
その上何か隠し扉の存在を許さぬとな。
それがミステリーだからです。
It's a you gotta hear someone here to enforce the genre conventions.
ミステリーはね、隠し扉など存在してはいけないのです。あしからず。
Yeah, exactly, Hatsune Marvin. That's what I was saying before. Delaner is, she's like a referee, kind of. She's here to enforce Nox's rules.
この世に我らの神を除いて他に一切の神はなく、一切の隠し扉は存在しません。
If all the witches are like the pure embodiment of fantasy, Delaner and Erica are like the embodiment of mystery. It's mystery versus fantasy.
存在してはなりません。
Gotta
させ
keep
ま
this
せん。
mystery a fair play mystery.
我らの
Can't just
神
make
へ
shit
の
up.
冒涜です。
魔女も呆れる傲慢よ。呆れを通り越して痛快であるわ。
来たわね。魔女を貫く銃のくさび。
Mystery versus
聞いてい
anti-mystery,
て
yeah.
惚れ惚れする暴論だわ。
That's what they said before.
愚かね。悪魔の証明なんてあやふやで、これまでは全てを逃れてきたのでしょうけど、ドラノールの前にもはやその手は通用しないわ。
Delaner will not allow devil's proofs.
やはりあなたも凡百な魔女と変わりないです。失望します。
ベアト、やはりすんなり逃がしてくれる相手ではなさそうだぞ。
We're in tough shit here, Beato.
どうかもてなしてくださいな、ベアトリーチェさん。客人にお茶くらい出してほしいものです。三流で結構ですから。さあ、この密室書斎から青き真実で私に教えてください。
Do it, you know you wanna.
よかろう。ほいづらかくでないぞ。金蔵が扉より抜け出した後、レシートの仕掛けに気づき、
That's true,
元
I
の場所
guess.
に正確に
That's
戻
what
し
the
た可
blue
能
truth
性
is
があ
here
るぞ。
for.
すでに赤で否定済みです。書斎扉は23時以降一度たりとも開かれていません。
That's true, we already established that with the
金
red
蔵は
name.
希代の魔術師で発明家かもしれぬぞ。体を霧にする薬を発明して
Oh, I see. She's doing like
鍵穴から抜け出
mysterious
したのかもしれ
machine
ぬ。
X.
そのような薬は存在しません。存在してはいけません。
あるいはテレポート
A
装置を
teleport
発明していたかもしれぬぞ。
Now you're just
その
being
可能性
silly.
とて
悪魔の証明で否定不能であろうが。
そのような機会も存在しません。存在することも許しません。
So, see, we've entered a new level of difficulty because you can't just make up weird bullshit machine devil proofs anymore. Not while Delaner is here.
この世のすべての薬物をそなたは調べられるのか。未知の科学装置の存在を否定できるのか。できるわけがない。それが悪魔の証明。そなたにその存在を否定できるのだ。
繰り返します。
I can actually.
神の名においてそのような薬も機械も存
I
在させ
can,
ませ
in
ん。
fact, deny these
未来
things.
永劫存在することも許しません。
未来とな。ほうほう。そなたは人類の未来さえも否定してみせるというのか。
ノックス第4条です。未知の薬物および難解な科学装置の使用を禁ず。人類の進化と未来が持ち得る知識と技術は我が神が決定し
God
ます。
says teleporting will
そして
never
そ
be
の
real.
存在の否定を永遠に宣告されました。よって未来永劫そのような技術の存在は許しません。許されません。
Beato and Delaynor had supposedly just gone through a massive exchange of red and blue. However, not only did Delaynor not take any damage, she also showed no signs of fatigue. Beato might have been a fearsome witch, but blood flowed through her veins and she did breathe. She felt both pain and fatigue. But Delaynor was like a doll made of marble. She felt no fatigue, no pain, no hesitation. Even if Beato's sharp wedges had aimed right for Delaynor's eyes, she wouldn't have shut them. In fact, it's doubtful that she ever blinks in the first place. Delaynor's like the, she's kind of like the mod in your server. She does it for free.
噂には聞いていたが、最悪の相性だな。夢も希望も未来の可能性さえ許さんとは。神々の傲慢恐れよ。さすがは魔女狩り執行人。生涯酒を酌み交わすことは叶いそうにない。
Mods, my juice, mods! Even the strikes that had made battlers surrender over and over had absolutely no effect on Delaynor. Well, I more or less knew that was coming, but to think that I'd be repelled so easily. I think we might be fucked.
おやおや。天下のゴールドスミスも老いぼれたか。そなたの口からそのような言葉が出てくるなど、夜空に彗星を2つ迎えるより珍しい。
老いぼれどころか、とうに死んでいるけど。
お前はもう死んでいる。
そうであったな。すまんが、もうしばらくそうはさせぬぞ。
Beato experienced something she'd only rarely felt during her entire life. It was probably what we'd call hardship. Beato quickly brushed aside Natsuhi's hand that tried to comfort her. What did they mean by this? And she regained her posture again, showing off her witch's pride and her continued readiness to fight.
それで終わりですか？私が出向くまでもなかった失望です。
まだであるぞ。今のはほんの
It was just a practice round. I demand a mulligan.
そなたの手の内を探ったに過ぎぬわ。
意図愚かなりや、身の程を知りたまえ、黄金の魔女。ベアトリーチェ卿。
Beato's expression became tense once again. No longer was there any trace of mischief. The mood changed.
もはや遊びの時
No
間は
more
終わりだ。
games.
行くぞ。ならば金蔵が書斎の出入りをしなかったことを認めようぞ。そなたの密室を受け入れようではないか。
金系ベアトリーチェは攻撃法を変更したことを申し上げ立てまつる。
Beatrice, who had until then thoroughly resisted the idea that a closed room existed, did an about face. She proclaimed that she accepted their proposition. Of course, this didn't mean she'd surrendered. This was a new attack of Beato's. Delaynor noticed this and readied herself.
どういうこと？密室を破ろうとしてるのに、どうしてベアトリーチェ卿は密室を認めるに？多分 この部屋以外の場所で金蔵の存在を主張するつもりです。大ベアトリーチ教のワープポータル再起動を確認。
夏日は金蔵と書斎で話をしたと主張しているが、
Yeah, what if she did it through the door?
話をしたとまでは言っておらぬ。すなわち金蔵が書斎以外の場所にいたとしても会話が成立すれば矛盾はないわ。
After bouncing at an erratic angle, the witch's stake pierced the top of Delaner's foot.
とろいわあなた。足の甲
Stop talking about feet, don't be weird.
夏日はこの書斎で内線電話を使い、別の場所にいる金蔵と会話をしていたのだ。親族たちを嫌う金蔵が書斎に立ち入られることを予見して別の場所に避難していたとしても
He's in another place.
何の不思議もないわ。おそらくそれは隠し屋敷クワドリアンかもしれぬぞ。
Asmodeus' stake, which contained the power of Beato's blue truth and pierced Delaner's foot, changed into a blue wedge.
うまい。筋は通るに。
What if he was never here, you idiot?
有効であります。
A cyclone of gold butterflies swept up with Beato at its center. The magical power of the once smashed black gate was once again refilled. If I can manage to hold Delaner off here, I'll be able to warp Kinzo out of the study this time, all the way to Kuadorian. Delaner moved clumsily, trying to pull the blue wedge out of her foot, but it didn't even budge. Of course, Beato didn't miss this chance. No witch would.
さらに行くぞ、覚悟せよ。夏日の言う金蔵が金蔵本人を刺さない可能性がある。
Oh, we're doing this one
夏日の言
again.
う金蔵とはこの部屋の別称かもしれぬぞ。金蔵はクワドリアンに避難していて連絡不能。夏日はこの部屋をお父様と呼び、この部屋で瞑想することで金蔵より啓示を受けているつもりになっていたのかもしれない。
This one's really silly, but whatever.
動きを止めたわね。もうあんたの負けよ。
Beelzebub's blue witch pierced the base of Delaner's neck. Of course, even this didn't cause her to flinch, but her movements were restricted even further.
面白い。それで終わりですか。
前菜にスープで終わってはコースとは呼ばぬ。
I could use some soup. It's been cold lately. I want
メ
some
インディッシ
soup.
ュからデザートまで一気に食らって腹をぶちまけて死ね。
Yeah, what if this room was named Kinzo? That makes sense, right?
密室ゆえに脱出不可能というなら、まだこの部屋に隠れている可能性だって否定できぬわ。隠し扉ではないぞ。例えばベッドの下とか天井裏とか。
He's in the walls.
悪魔さえ知り得ない。それでいて実にさりげない死角に隠れているかもしれぬな。あるいは金蔵より特別に自分の代行を命じられたナチを自らを当主代行であると同時にもう一人の金蔵だと自覚したかもしれん。つまりナッチーが同時に金蔵でもあるという可能性だ。まだまだあるぞ。金蔵は昨夜の23時の時点で窓から脱
You're
出してい
saying a lot of
た。
words right now, Beato.
そしてナッチーがそれを見届け窓に施錠をした。これでも何の問
We're
題もない。
we're reaching a level of making shit up we hadn't thought
真実
possible.
ではないのか。どうだドラノルエノクス。この密室より脱出
Your closed room isn't closed at all, actually. I think it's quite simple.
我が主に立てつく愚かさを知れ。お前には何の反論の必要もない。そのまま破れて永遠に眠れ。
The seven sisters appeared from Beato's golden tornado one after another, piercing Delaner with blue wedges. 4 blue wedges were buried into her neck, chest, gut, and thigh. Including the one buried into the top of her foot, she was pincushioned by 5 stakes.
ベアトリーチェ様、私の出番は？
Quit crying.
他にも思いついたら使ってやる。
I can't
今
think
は
of
静か
7,
にしてお
okay?
れ。
Don't judge me.
どうか魔女狩り人ドラノール。 魔女を次々串刺しにして火にくべてきたそなたが逆に魔女に串刺しにされるのはどのような気持ちか
They were all ridiculous arguments, but they came fiercely one after another. Though a total of 5 wedges pierced Elena, her expression didn't change in the slightest. However, her movements had indeed been limited.
さすが魔女は怖いね。へりくつじゃ勝てんね。ノックス10か条にも抵触しません。
They weren't lying, that logic do be twisted.
有効です。
The Nox Decalogue, I like that. Saying it's Nox's 10 rules doesn't sound chuny enough. We need to call it Nox's Decalogue.
見事です、ベアトリーチェ。この書斎が無人で密室だったとしても、それだけでお父様の存在を否定させるわけにはいきません。
波の相手ならこれで決まりと思うところだがな。だがあやつはドラの
She's very strong.
首席いた実家を破った自分の父さえ切り伏せた冷酷女だ。金属今のうちに。
Now that Delaner had been pinned down, this was their last chance to recover their magical power and escape. Once again, a pitch-black gate opened to rise slowly in front of Beato and Kinzo. Though the gate had once again been opened by simply drawing in the air, it wasn't so easy in the study now, filled as it was with the power of denial.
いかがですか皆さん。この書斎のことをどう問おうとも、お父様のご健在を揺るがすことなどできないのです。
おやおや、おっしゃいますね。あなた、そして私もこの戦いの一部であることを忘れない方がいいですよ。私に魔女と戦うことはできませんが。
Oh boy. Gotta argue against Natsuhi, and Natsuhi's gonna like fall apart immediately. She's got a weak constitution. Erika grinned at Natsuhi with a smile more demonic than a real demon's.
夏日さん、重ねてお伺いしますが、あなたは昨夜、確かにこの部屋で後宮金蔵さんとお話ししたんですね。
ええ、一日の報告とお休みのご挨拶をしておりましたと何度も言っております。
おかしなことを聞きますが、あなたの潔白を証明するための大切なことですので。
She does have a fighter spirit, you know, when she gets a gun.
はぐらかさずにお願いします。
Not so much a powerful combatant in the arena of logic.
あなたの言う金蔵さんとは、私たちの認識する後
Not the
宮
room,
金蔵さんで
not
すね。
yourself.
その名を持つ別の人物、別の存在ということはありませんね。
よくおっしゃる意味がわかります。
You're being led into a trap.
お父様亡き後、この部屋自体をお父様と呼んでたりするなんてことはないのって聞いてるのよ。あんたはお父様にお休み前に一日の報告をしていたなんて言ってたわね。それはお父様という名の書斎で一人日の報告を壁に向かってしていたという意味じゃないの。
That would be a pretty silly thing to do.
ブレーナ、そんなことはありません。
You successfully
お
baited.
父様はお父様です。健在でいらっしゃいます。そして確かに昨夜、私はここで報告とお休みの挨拶をさせていただきました。何のごまかしも言い逃れもありません。
なるほど。では、私の言葉が復唱できますか？あなたが何のごまかしもまやかしもないというなら、
いいでしょう。何でも復唱します。
副将要求、後宮夏日は昨夜23時、この部屋で後宮金蔵と確かに同室して
You're fucking up Beato here.
私、後宮夏日は昨夜23時、この部屋で後宮金蔵と
You're hurting your
同室して
bestie.
会話しました。
グッド。では最後にお聞きします。まさか夏日さん、その後に金蔵さんを窓から放り出して自ら窓を閉
Throw
め
him
て
out.
施錠
Just
した。
toss him out like the
そ
garbage.
れでも筋が通っちゃいますので。
どうして私がお父様を窓から追い出さなくてはならないのですか？程があります。愚弄にも程があります。
金系謹んで申し上げ奉る。夏日の指す金蔵とは後ろ宮金蔵以外のいかなるものも意
Red
味し
truth
ない。
established.
謹んで
金系謹んで申し上げ奉る。夏日は書斎にて23時に金蔵と対面したことを主張するものなり。
These two also have bios. Let's take a look then. Whoopsie, you played yourself. Oh, okay, we do. Cornelia, a member of Eisern Jungfrau, the 7th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven, an assistant inquisitor and a third-class minister. She has obtained high grades in academic exercises, but this is her first time on the job. She possesses a strong sense of justice and is currently cramming for exams to become an inquisitor of heresy like the Laner. Her current goal is to become more like the veteran assistant, Gertrude. Gertrude, a member of Eiserne, I don't know how to pronounce the first one, Jungfrau, I'm pretty sure that one's right. The 7th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. She's a high-level assistant inquisitor and a first-class minister. And as an assistant inquisitor of heresy, she is tasked with aiding during interrogations and hearings. Because most missions end up as executions, she is usually assigned the job of using barriers to block the target's means of escape. Just sort of slur iron. Eisern? Okay. Eisern? Also, that's what they look like in the pachinko. It's funny how they're both taller than Delaner. Natsuki let out a cry, but it was too late. She had been totally suckered in by their provocation. The blue wedge to the foot representing a telephone discussion. The blue wedge to the neck representing the study itself being Kinzo. The blue wedge to the gut representing Natsuki herself being called Kinzo. The blue wedge to the thigh representing Natsuki letting Kinzo escape out the window and locking it afterwards. The 4 of them were smashed up with a thin sound. Because Natsuki, the one who knew the truth, had denied them. Those denials had gained the power of the red truth. Despite Kinzo's absence in this closed room, Beato had introduced 5 ways that Kinzo could still exist. Natsuki had carelessly crushed the premises behind 4 of those herself. Owned. Played yourself. Only 1 wedge remained. In other words, this was the last blue truth that could bury the contradiction of Kinzo existing in the study at 11 p.m., but not existing there later, after it became a closed room. There was only the theory that pierced the Laner's chest. Kinzo is hiding somewhere in this room. With that theory, even if Kinzo wasn't present in this closed room study, he could still exist there. If this wedge of Satan's were to be crushed, their chances of escaping this room would become hopelessly dim. Gotta hold her back! Gotta hold back Oomphy! Delaner slowly grasped the final wedge, which still pierced her chest. Apparently that vice-like grip was hurting Satan as though all the bones in her body were being broken.
残るくさびはこの1本だけです。この部屋のどこかに金蔵が隠れているというものでしたね。そのすべてを探偵である私が探しました。それでも見つからないなら一体どこに隠れていると
With the final wedge still sticking out of her chest, Delaner slowly approached Beato. If this wedge was taken out, then...
お聞きします。一体金蔵がこの書斎のどこに隠れている
Where is he? Where is that old fart?
ベッドの下かもしれんぞ。
探索済みです。
I don't know why Beatrice thought this one would work. They could just say, we already looked there. Like, they've already looked there. Yeah, this Peace Beato doesn't seem to be as particularly good at this as actual Beato. Maybe that's because Lambda is controlling her. That's a good face! Zunides? I gotta see this one in the pachinko. That's a really good face. It just looks like Pop Team Epic when Baby Me eats the lemon. Those are good faces. I like both of those.
He's
in your walls. I don't think this is working. The great equalizer is the death! That's a really good one. I like her. I like her when she gets insane. The great equalizer is the death! No locations would work against the laner by this point. The laner took Beato's final desperate onslaught head-on, turning everything back with a far stronger power of denial. Beat them up. Knock them down with overwhelming force. No longer does any place exist in this study for Kinzo to escape to. Beato was blown back like a leaf dancing in the wind, knocked around over and over again like an empty can lying on a road. But now, no matter how many times Beato used the blue truth, it wouldn't be able to defeat the laner's red. Guess what her special is in Golden Fantasia? Very nice. That's definitely a character. It's very funny to read this and go like, man, I'd like to try them out in Golden Fantasia. The laner definitely feels like she'd do cool big sword attacks. She's a grappler? That's awesome. Owned. Erica coldly delivered these decisive words to Beato, who was crawling on the ground.
探偵権限。探偵は全ての現場を検証する権利を持つ。そして私は権利を行使しました。よって宣言します。この部屋に金蔵さんはいません。そして部屋の密室も完璧です。以上の2点から断言します。この部屋はずっと無人です。
It was empty the whole time.
夏さんが
Natsushi lied.
ここであったと
Well, we already knew that from the beginning, but I guess the tension was if they could wiggle their way out of it, which I don't think is happening.
いかがです？ただこの部屋が存在するだけで。
This level reasoning is possible for Furudo Erica. What do you think, everyone? I love it when she says the thing. At these words, the final wedge shattered, and at the same time, the pitch-black gate that was about to open shattered once again. This time, the warp portal had been completely destroyed. No longer would Kinzo be permitted to exist in this room, or escape from it. Beato struggled to her feet, but that was the best she could do. She no longer had the energy to fight. She had taken all of the denying red head-on from close range. It took all of her strength just to withstand a pain so strong it felt like she'd vomit up all her insides. Even Beato, who had always aimed for the title of strongest and most evil witch, couldn't do a thing against a witch hunter. No matter how sturdy a sandcastle you build on the beach, it can never win against the rising tide. It's like it's time for Kinzo to bow out.
Pt.3 感謝するぞ。恨み残りし私のためによくぞここまで戦ってくれた。
It is Kinzover.
四季を悟ると走馬灯が見えるってのは本当らしいな。そなたの若かりし日々の面影を。
Will they show us? Is it just Battler?
腹が立つくらい
That's what I
バトラ
fucking
に似てお
thought.
ったな。
That one's an easy guess.
私の魂もそして当主の資格も今やすべてバトラが受け継いでおる。
Does this mean he gets the cape now? I've seen the
も
promo
はや
art of him
何
with
の
the
未
cape.
練もなし。
バトラ、すまぬ。そなたと再び戦おうと誓いながら、この程度で手じまいとは無念だ。
To Beato, it seemed as though Battler had met her gaze. There was no way he could have. This Battler was the Peace Battler. There was no way he could see Beato in this higher level world. However, his eyes really did meet hers. Even though they couldn't have, Beato was sure they did. As Erika, Eva, and the others closed in on Natsuki, questioning her over and over, only Battler stood apart from that tumult. His expression held none of the enthusiasm and excitement that the other humans had. It just piercingly and coldly surveyed the scene. And the expression on his face was a quiet displeasure, anger. He wasn't feeling compassion for Natsuki because her lie was about to be exposed. However, he couldn't excuse Erika, a self-proclaimed, who simply enjoyed cornering Natsuki and those who sympathized with her. Then he whispered softly, "Yeah, say the line, Battler!" Beato and the others definitely heard that.
バトラはまさかこの劣勢をひっ
I
く
can
り
hear the
返
music
せるというの
starting.
か。
ありし日の私なら
Oh,
で
my
きただろう。
faculties aren't as good. I'm not a good detective no more.
そしてバトラならできるであろうぞ。
バトラ
Got here later than I expected. What did you miss? Unfortunately, you missed Die the Death, sentenced to death. Death is the equalizer. Sorry about that.
私より全てを受け継ぎし男であるならば、今こそ
You'll get a cool
そ
cape
の
out of it.
証を示せ。黄金の魔女伝説をこんなところで終わらせるな。
私は昨夜確かにここでお父様に会いました。確かにです。そして後宮家の栄光ある歴史とそれを担う責任の重さに
Sounds
つい
like
て
something a liar would say.
もうその嘘は暴かれているんです。夏日さん、あなたが昨夜一人でこの部屋にいたことはもう分かってるんです。そろそろ諦めて告白に入ってもらえませんか？犯人の往生際の悪さとミステリーの出来の悪さは比例するんです。
Everybody's a critic. Most of all, Erika.
最後くらいこれがちょっとはマシな三流ミステリーだったことを証明
At
してく
least
だ
have
さ
a
い。
cool Ace Attorney breakdown.
ああ、ダメだな。
Yeah, say the line.
全然ダメだぜ。
Zen Damidaze. Battler, who had been... I can hear the song. I can hear his theme song. Battler, who had been silent off by himself up until then, spoke. At first, it sounded as though he was attacking Natsuhi. However, when Erika realized he was glaring directly at her, her expression visibly clouded with displeasure.
何がダメなんですか？
ミステリーが三流なら、その探偵
Yo,
も
get
三流
her
だな。
ass.
いいぜ。俺がじい様になってやるよ。
バトラ
I hope that doesn't mean he's gonna go bald.
あなたが金蔵さんに？
He's already gotten bald enough.
まさか金蔵さんになってこの部屋からの失踪を再現してみせようって言うんですか？まさか私のチェックメイトを否定されるというつもりで？バカな。
この男は何を言ってるのですか？
新しく来たお嬢さん方、ここのゲームは初めてだ。悪いが、その程度でチェックメイトって言っちまうようじゃ。
We've had a lot of back and forth here. I know you're new here, but you should be prepared for a lot of back and forthing.
本当にダメだな。
どういうことだバトラー。お前が親父になるだと？
ああ、再現してやるぜ。俺がじい様になってこの部屋から消え去ってやる。
Battler has not said much stupid in this episode yet, that's true, but that's mostly because, like, Peace Battler has mostly been controlled by Erika. Or not Erica, Burn Castle. And actual Battler's just been hanging out, watching the replay. I think we're caught up with the present, though? I think we're catching up with the present. I'm not sure.
私たちにはさっぱり。さっぱり。
No, it wasn't quite there yet. That's right. I remember now. They were actually accusing Natsuhi of killing everybody. Not this part. Not just that grandfather Kinze was dead already. That's Russell. That sound wasn't just the noise of the onlookers fidgeting. It was a provocative chill that ran up Erica's spine.
気に入りました。そうですね。あなたは当主の指輪を持つ後宮家次期当主。金蔵さんの代役を務める資格は十分あるでしょう。見せてもらおうじゃないですか。あなたの推理。
Erica's expression was no longer a challenging smile. It was malicious, overwhelmingly displeased. She couldn't conceal her anger at having this very pleasurable time of hers ruined.
どうやってここからわらわたち
Something malicious is indeed brewing.
やめたわ。なるほど。その手が残っておったか。
Oh, really?
今頃気づいたかクソジジイ。隠し扉だのベッドの下に隠れただの。
I know, we've all been through this stuff in the previous episodes. It's like Peace Beato learned nothing.
俺たちは天下御免の後ろ宮金蔵の話を
Yeah, he would do something way more insane.
少し痛快かつ豪快な答えは出てこねえのかってんだ。
まったくだ。自らのこととはいえ、私にも思いつけなかったとは
I'm me, he says.
そして我が血族がこれだけ揃い、私を理解しているのが6年を経て帰ったバトラだけというのも情けない。バトラ、私の代役であるぞ。無様な真似は見せるな。
I feel like this is metaphorical, him taking his place.
GG.
It has a deeper meaning than just reenacting this one scene.
客どもに教えてやるぜ。
何をなさるおつもりですか、お父様。
ナツヒ、ベアトリーチェ、見ているがいい。後宮家当主とはどういうものか教えてやる。
We're gonna have a wacky old time, me and the grandkid.
何をして見せるつもりやら。
Finally, some familial bonding
何もで
between
き
these
るわけ
two.
がないです。この部屋は完全な密室なんですから。
夏代おばさん、こっちへ来てくれ。そして今から話す通りに動いてくれ。
Battler called Natsuhi over to the window and whispered something to her with his back towards the others.
ミス・ドラノール、万が一はありませんよね。この部屋から金蔵と魔女を取り逃すようなことはありえませんよね。
無論です。ガートルード。
She's so
コーネリア
consternated.
そして英主体。密室の封印は完璧か、今一度確認するのです。
金兄、謹んで申し上げまする。我らの結界は完璧なり。
Oh, is it?
金系隠し扉はなく、扉からも窓からも逃れることかなわず。英主体はバトラが結界を破りしとき、躊躇なく矢を放ちたまえ。
Pump him full of
司令
lead.
下隊、了解であります。バトラ様、お覚悟を。
この部屋から脱出なんて不可能です。でもあいつはやるに。どうやって根拠がなくてもやり遂げると確信で
He'll
きる。
succeed through the power of being a funny little
そ
guy.
れが後ろ宮の当主ってもんに。
ですが、見せてもらいましょうか。
Yeah, I don't. You know, trying to shoot Battler hasn't exactly worked for the Cheesters before, so.
リーチェの対戦相手の貫禄ってやつをね。
Everybody's really excited for Battler to make his move.
では、始めるぜ。
Everyone nodded and watched Battler's every move.
じい様である俺は、こうしてベッドで横になり、夏日おばさんの一日の報告とやらに相槌を打っていた。
Battler laid down on the bed himself. As if it still mattered now, Erica grumbled about disturbing the crime scene, but no one listened to her.
そして
What is he
俺は
cooking?
返事をしなくなり、まあどうせ長話に飽きて寝たふりでもしたんだろうぜ。
貴様は分かっておる。
I love how Kinzo's like, yes, that's exactly what I do. I pretend to be asleep.
私はお父様がお休みになったのを見届け、
I pretend to be asleep so no one bothers me. It's a classic old man trick.
黙礼してから立ち去ります。
Natsuhi lowered her head to Battler, who was still lying down in the bed, and turned around. Then she started wandering around as though doing an inspection of the room.
夏日おばさんはじい様の就寝を見届けた後、室内のチェックをしてから退出するそうだ。もちろんシャノンちゃんたちに毎日掃除をさせてるんだが、それでもおばさんは細かくチェックしているわけだ。埃が落ちてないかどうか、消耗品は切れてないかどうか。
Out of any consumables, you need to fill up his inventory with potions and ethers.
大切な当主様の部屋ですから、使用人任せにせず、自らでも細かくチェックしています。これは必ず行っていることです。
そうです。
Yeah, this is the Microsoft Samsung,
奥様は
yes.
普段からとても丁寧にチェックしています。
チェックは細かく、水場の消耗品一つ一つ。
Honestly, using Microsoft Sam in like a song like this is pretty genius. The composer for this game is
よく
pretty
テレビドラ
smart.
マで見るような窓辺の埃だけじゃねえ。水場の洗剤の残量やトイレのトイレットペーパーの残数さえ見て、毎日でなくてもいいだろうよ。
I wonder if Kinzo subsists on canned franks and beans like Walt Disney. I think Kinzo's a little higher class than that.
それが日課です。一日たりとも当主様のお部屋のチェックに気の緩みがあってはなりません。
それが何だって言うんですか？もったいぶるのも大概にしてください。
もったいぶるのは探偵の特権でしょ。
Yeah, you were just doing it a minute ago. What? I'm the detective.
こうして書斎にいればわかるだろう
Supposed
が、
to be me.
書斎という名で呼んではいるが、
So funny. She's coping so hard.
ここはもはや屋敷の中に存在するセカンドハウスと言ってもいい。寝室があり、書斎があり、水場があり、トイレも風呂もある。つまり一つの部屋じゃない、一つの家と言っていい。
書斎
I
内
love
の
that
構
show.
成説明感謝です。しかしそのどこかに隠れるという手はすでに破られています。
Erica is so funny.
だが資格はいくらでもあるはずだ。例えば夏日おばさんがトイレットペーパーの数を調べにトイレに入っている間、夏日おばさんから書斎のほぼ全ては資格となる。つまり書斎のほぼ全域から観測者が消
So
えている。
what? He could have snuck out while her back was turned, basically.
観測者消失。金蔵が失態します。
He gone.
近景、書斎内に魔女の闇が充満せしこと申し上げ立てまつる。
Yeah, when Natsuhi wasn't looking, Kinzo just did a 360 and walked away.
よいぞ、闇の力が満ちてきた。
観測者が夏日がいなくなったからなんだと。それで
じい様はようやく小うるさい夏日おばさんが姿を消したので起き上がる。
どうして
Hey, there's the face. I love that face.
このようなイカれた夜にイカれた天気の夜空をめでることに勝る酒の魚はないわ。
夏日おばさんがトイレという資格にいる以上、じい様には書斎を自由に歩き回ることが可能になる。
It was possible for him to move without Natsuhi's knowledge. It was possible for him to move without contradicting what Natsuhi knew.
警告！バトラが書斎扉に接近するで
You
あり
gotta
ます。
do it.
近景、
Shoot him,
書
girls.
斎扉のロック解除時には騒音が鳴り響くものなりえ、夏日に不審に思われずして扉より出ることかなわぬと知りたま
Because Battler had acted as though he was heading for the door, Gertrude, who was sealing the door, immediately sent out a warning. Maybe it was possible for him to leave the study while in Natsuhi's blind spot. However...
そうよ。音よ。オートロックの解除には大きな音がするのを私たちは知っているわ。書斎内の死角に夏日がいたとしても、オートロックを解除する時のあの大きな音は聞き逃さない。不審に思わないはずがない。
金慶、夏日は扉の開く音、在室中に聞くことはなかりけりこと申し上げ立てまつる。
The washroom and toilet are very close to the door. Even if they hadn't seen, that autolock always lets off such a massive sound. We've heard it many times, in fact. She'd be able to hear that sound no matter what. Natsuhi had already spoken with Erika and the others about the details of the previous night, making it quite clear that nothing out of the ordinary had occurred. That's exactly what I was thinking, Sweet Creamy. Maybe the door was just hanging open. Maybe it just slipped through. Any argument that relied on Natsuhi failing to hear the lock wouldn't work. Sorry, I said her name really American there. I said Natsuhi. Should be Natsuhi.
扉より金蔵が出入ること叶わぬものなり。
金慶、無駄なあがきと申し上げ立てまつる。意図愚かな。
確かに破れねえな。だが窓のあんたはどうだ。
Ooh. It's playing the song. Turning his back to Gertrude, who claimed that leaving through the door was impossible, Battler locked his gaze on Cornelia, who stood in front of the window.
しっかり張れよ。結界とやら。
It's really funny that, yeah, the one he ends up spotting a weakness in is the rookie. By now, Battler's target was clear. It was Cornelia. It was the window. He was going to smash this closed room from the window. Not expecting to be chosen as the target herself, Cornelia was overawed for just a second, but she quickly regained her composure. On rare occasions, fleeing witches would directly challenge the barriers Cornelia set up. Such witches were always fighting desperately on the brink of death.
金慶、謹んで申し上げる。バトラの標的はあなた、コーネリア。注意申し上げるものなり。
Better watch out!
意図愚かなる。
He's gonna do it!
この愚かなる子羊を憐れみたまえ。
羊じゃねえ。後ろ宮家当主ってのはな。我が片翼でもな。その程度の窓で書斎にいつまでも閉じ込めておけると思うんじゃねえぜ。
Starting from a low posture, both silent and supple, Battler ran forward like a white leopard. Just gonna jump out the window?
こいつはこれは金慶、我が赤が破れる道理はなし。
Okay, then say it in
そ
red.
なたの望み叶うことなしと知りたまえ。
Cornelia thrust out both her arms and made a sign. When she did, a red barrier closed in front of Battler.
無駄と申し上げ立てまつる。
She hasn't said it in red, though.
金慶、我が窓は内より閉ざされ、また夏日が金蔵を逃したることもなし。
夏日おばさんがじい様を逃がしたんじゃね
え。Yeah, what if he just left himself?
夏日おばさんに隠れて自ら抜け出したとしたら。
どうして窓から自分で出るんですか、金蔵が。
このイカれた弾に雨天へ飛び出すくらい。
I thought it would be funny.
酒の座興程度にしかならん。
I'm a crazy old man. I'll jump out a third-story window.
でもここ3階ですよ。ありえません。
そなたとて階段を降りるとき一度金蔵なら3階くらいは。
He would have made it. He's like 90 years old, but he made it. Yeah, not just like, yeah, he's fucking crazy. He'd do it.
やりかねませんね。
そんなバカな。
Blue cracks appeared in Cornelia's red barrier, and it shattered with a crisp sound. It was all far too quick. It looked almost as though she'd gotten out of the way herself in fear of Battler. Oh, come on, that didn't work on him last time. Yeah, Endless 9!
コーネリア様、防げません。退避を。
At the same time the barrier shattered, the window behind Cornelia's back was flung open. The curtains fluttered for just an instant. Though it was all filled with rain, the heavens and the courtyard was spread out in front of them. Yeah, Kinzo, it is kind of a get out of jail free card that Kinzo's like an acknowledged crazy person. So like his entire family is like, yeah, I guess it's possible he'd just jump out of a window. A fitting exit for an eagle leaping from this closed room.
コーネリア、結界を張り直すのです。
御意、上司虎の折。ここを破ること、断じて叶わぬと知りたまえ。
Cornelia quickly returned to her senses and set up another red barrier. However, this was her last one.
金系、慎んで申し上げ立てまつる。なれば、金蔵の窓より脱出を仮に認めようぞ。ならば、外より閉められる窓の施錠は、
Yeah, it's only locked from the
いかようにしたのか。
inside.
窓は内側より施錠されていた。
ダメだな。
Yeah, say it, Kinzo.
The
double attack, the double useless. Kinzo and Battler grinned. Did she think this feeble red could block the charge of Battler and Kinzo, the two family heads? Picks that go hard.
夏日おばさんはちょっとした隙間風に気づいただろう。そして窓辺に近づき、窓が開きっぱなしになっていたことに気づき、慌てて閉めて施錠したんだ。
He's saying it too, he's using the blue as well.
夏日は想像もできなかったろうな。
ああ、だから夏日おばさん、じいさまはベッドで寝ていると思ったの当然のことなんだ。
Owned. Now that Battler had found the answer, the red barrier was more fragile than thin glass. The red magical wall of certainty had been smashed again so easily that it disgraced the name of certainty itself. Unbelievable, right? That barrier was more firm than any Renove had ever used against Jessica, and yet it had been destroyed so easily. Though Battler was rushing fiercely and had almost reached Cornelia, she didn't step aside. I like how we're leaping up the power scaling here, where it like explicitly says Cornelia's barriers are tougher than the one Kinzo used, or Renove used when he fought Jessica in the 4th episode. That's really funny. We're like, our power levels are jumping way up here. Her steel spirit, worthy of the name Eisern Jungfrau, didn't allow her to step aside. She took a charm from her pocket and placed it against the thin air and made a sign. Then, not red, but blue burned there. Though it was far more frail than the red barrier, was her last method of resistance. Okay, so she's gonna try and use the blue truth?
窓よりいかにして翼なき人間が逃れるというのか。ここは通せる通せる。それを知りたまえ。
ぐだぐだうるさいわ。そこで見ておれ。これがその答えだ。
Good job, Daisuke Ono, thank you. Woo! Battler jumped. He burst through Cornelia and her blue barrier, knocked them away, and his body flew out the window through the darkness of the rainy sky. Hardcore parkour! What is happening? The fragments of the blue barrier scattered, beautifully adorning the surrounding air. The closed room had been smashed open. Battler flew out of the mansion, through the sky above the rainy courtyard. All the raindrops became small round gems and were scattered through the air. Battler flew across the treasure box world of that exquisite stormy sky, through the countless gems of rain that filled it. Yeah, sometimes the only way to win an argument is to jump out of a window. I've been there. In the sky over the world frozen in time, Delaner and Battler faced each other. If Battler, who had smashed and flown out the window, was like a knight leaping off a white horse, then Delaner was another knight who floated in the air waiting for him. Sweet Creamy, you want me to flirt with you now? You attention whore? You praise slut? Is that what you are? I'm trying to watch Battler do a funny thing. Ah, you are such a slut for praise, aren't you, Sweet Creamy? But you know what? You're my slut for praise, and I'm happy to have you here. Ahem. Then Delaner was another knight who floated in the air, waiting for him. In the air above the courtyard, surrounded by the Ushiromiya mansion and frozen in time, the true new head of the Ushiromiya family and the disciple of heaven who would test him crossed paths.
見事です。たとえあなたが中庭に落ち生きようが死のうが、金蔵に密室が打ち破れたことに変わりはない。
Yeah, you didn't have to survive, you just had to figure out a way out.
命を捨てて飛んだあなたこそ殉教者。よくぞ我らの密室結界を打ち破ってみせました。あっぱれです。後ろ宮バトラー。されど、我こそは史跡異端審問官ドラノルエノックス。ミスミスと逃すことはできません。最後に我がたちにあなたと交える栄誉を与えたまえ。
ああ、歓迎して。
Battler doesn't have a sword.
このゲーム、案外甘くないぜ。
In this world where the gems of rain fell slowly like large snowflakes on a snowy field, Delaner and Battler slowly crossed paths. It seemed slow, and yet it happened in a flash. Their gazes crossed and clashed like lightning. Knight confronted knight head-on, and everything would be settled with a single stroke. Blue and red crossed paths.
書斎内に夏日の資格が存在することがあらかじめ示されましたが、示されていないならばこの推理は許されません。ノックス第8条、提示されない手がかりでの解決
They're
を
like mixing the red and blue now. That's kind of neat. Delaner's double strike with both the red and blue blades reached out to slice Battler, and failed. Those long swords, which he had never lost over the course of 100 battles, cut through empty air.
書斎に入った時、
早い。
その構造についてはっきりと研究してるぜ。お前向くだぜ、お嬢さん。
For the first time, an expression showed on Delaner's face. It was a sudden smile. She had known about that long before. However, she still couldn't let him escape without attempting that single strike. Now, even without her reputation as an inquisitor of heresy on the line, she still crossed swords with Battler, even though she knew it would fail.
知っていましたと。あなたのこの答えはノックス第8条に抵触しません。
恨むなよ。暗いな。
いざ来た。
In Battler's hand was a blade that shone red. That blade etched out the red truth. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Kinzo's study was a small villa he had created inside the mansion. A study, a library, a place to sleep, and a bathroom and washroom. It was divided into multiple rooms. That has already been shown, and it suggests that there could have been a blind spot somewhere within the room. It is cool that she dual wields. Dual wield! Without any mercy, no, without any reluctance, which would have been dishonorable, the sword of red truth cut into the Delaner. It cut a beautiful hemisphere through the countless gems of rain that filled the sky. Teleports behind you. Time exploded into life. Both of them fell through the courtyard. One drifted down, the other tumbled through the air. Nothing personnel, Delaner. Then there was a soft sound and a dull thud. The first was the sound of Battler landing gently in the courtyard. The second was the sound of Delaner crashing down. After crouching down for a while, Battler slowly stood up. Though he had jumped down from the 3rd floor, he had landed as lightly as though he had merely jumped over a fence. That's a weird face, Beato. What's up? Beato leaned out of the study window, looking to see if the supposedly wingless Battler had landed safely.
Beato! 来い! 飛べ! その窓が俺たちの出口の扉だ!
Oh, are you gonna catch her like princess style? That would be cute.
お前は密室に閉じ込められてるような魔女じゃないだろうが!
The study was no longer a closed room. She could jump from here, escape from here. By now, the closed room had threatened to capture the witch and suffocate her, had been destroyed.
心臓も
行け。バトラが答えを見せた時点でわしの
I'm not really here, remember? I'm a weird ghost. Goodbye! Kinzo's form became a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. The closed room barrier had dissolved and the power that denies magic had scattered. Beato ran towards the window. That was the only exit from the closed room of this witch hunt. After glancing at the Chester sisters and the subordinates of the Inquisitor of Heresy, she readied her wound-covered body and ran towards the window just like Battler had done. She looked like Cinderella running as she heard the bell toll. Gotta go! Erica flew at Beato, trying to latch on to Beato as she dashed, but it was like trying to catch smoke, and she landed face first on the floor. Owned. There's no way a human could catch a witch. For one such as her, without love, even touching Beato was impossible.
照準抵触せず八方近景バトラの青き真実を防げる結界の
He's too big and Chad-like. His power level's too high. Both Chester, Double Zero, and Gertrude spoke with unbelievably calm voices.
誰にも止められないの。バトラも、インゾーも、ベアトリーチェも、こいつらが逃げ出した。私の密室、推理が、この探偵、フルド、エリカが。
I'm the detective, not you! She's so mad. She's so mad. Erica crouched, screaming and clutching at her head.
天下の黄金の魔女がジジイのカビ臭い書斎ごときで打ち破られてるんじゃねえ。まだ第一の番だろうが。新参どもにお前のゲームが甘くないってことを思い知らせてやれ。
Owned. Just like Battler, Beato also flew. She drifted down through the rain treasure box world into Battler's chest. Battler caught her with both arms as though catching a feather from an angel. Oh, he did catch her like the princess
Shake it,
catch.
baby.
It was like a knight catching a princess who had been locked up in a tower. Like a beautiful picture of a scene in some fairy tale. This is pretty based.
やっばい惚れたわ後ろ宮家の当主ってこういう
Oh no,
やつ
he's
ばっか
hot.
後ろ宮金蔵の破天荒を記せば書斎の魔導書の数に負けぬ長い波乱の物語が書けるでしょう。その次の当主の物語記すか。いえいえ、もう記しております。
On this very visual novel. I know, we're already 5 episodes in. It's pretty long. Thank you, Renove, we know. The demons giggled on top of the roof, holding the umbrellas. Then they quietly looked down over the two in the courtyard. Yeah, we're just a little over halfway. Oh, Battler definitely jumped out of the window in real life. Absolutely.
お前のゲームで何回鍛えられたと思ってんだよ。
In shock, Beato actually praised Battler as he held her in his arms. Battler laughed in his casual, carefree way. She's so mad. Erica looked down from the window and clenched her teeth, still clutching at her head. Still holding Beato in his arms, Battler grinned back.
Erika.
何ですか？
黄金の魔女の謎は
It's
お前
mine.
にはクレディ
You're not the detective, I am.
俺が解く。こいつはな、俺たち二人の謎なんだよ。ま、ベアと。
She's flustered, it's cute.
わらわの謎は
She can't say it. It's too hard to say. It's like giving up her virginity. When Battler laughed evilly, Beato's face turned uncharacteristically red. But even so, she spoke while laughing loudly.
わらわの謎はそなただけのものだ。後ろ宮バトラー、他の誰にも解かせてはやらぬ。
こいつめ、ふざけたこと言いやがって。
Yes, the riddle. That's what we're talking about. The riddle. Battler snorted, amused that Beato had said something so out of character. And still, holding Beato in his arms, he spun around in a kind of waltz. The falling gems of rain celebrated their victory over this trial.
3階の窓から飛び降りて無事
He's got strong legs.
飛び降りて密室を脱出。ふざけてます。こんなの推理じゃない。めちゃくちゃです。
If Battler had at least been seriously injured and writhing in the mud, Erica might still have had some ground to stand on. She might have been able to claim that Kinzo couldn't have jumped down with his old body and gotten away unscathed. However, Battler stood calmly in the courtyard, looking up at Erica with the dignity of the victor.
皆さん、もう一度聞きますけど、こんなのありえませんよ。
I like that she's having the exact sort of breakdown Battler would have had several episodes ago, where she's like, no, it's not possible, this isn't logical, it's fantasy.
人間が3階の窓から飛び降
This
り
sprite
て
is pretty good.
平然と降り立つなんて、そんなのあるわけがない。そうでしょ、みんな。ましてや老体の金蔵さんが3階から飛び降りてみせるなんて、こんなの推理じゃない。
Erica tried to get everyone's agreement and somehow turn things around, but their responses were no different from how they'd been a short while ago.
いや、金蔵さんならありえますな。
親父ならやりかね
He's a fucking nut. He'd jump out that
お
window.
父様だものね。
武勇伝の王よ人や。それくらいじゃ驚きもせんで。
Yeah, I love this face.
あんたたち、頭も正気もどうかしてんじゃないですか。
いずれにせよ、あなたの密室議論は完璧ではなかったわね。
Not only the servants, but the family members also agreed. They all agreed that there was nothing strange about Kinzo jumping down from a third-floor window. Just who in this world is this Ushiramiya Kinzo person?
まあ60点というところか。若かりし日の金蔵ならもう少し派手にやってみせるぞ。
He was still a little bit cooler than
もう
you.
ひとひねり欲しいところだ。
おお。
You trying to tweak him?
そのだな。そのわらわを抱いたまま飛び降り
You're
る
just
くらい
telling
は
him what you want him to do now.
わかった。次の機会には抱いたまま飛び降りてやるぜ。
やれるものならやってみよう。
Beato's voice grew very faint and she gulped. Then her body suddenly crumbled away into a cloud of gold butterflies. And that was because many people had rushed up to the window and was being bathed with gazes filled with the anti-magic toxin. Beato's body became invisible to them and melted into thin air. So to their eyes, it appeared that Battler was standing all alone out in the courtyard.
Battler! 大丈夫か?
ご無事そうです。よかった。敗北です。
では主催の彼らのためにも私にとどめを。
Can you just stab me already? I'm tired of looking at
あ
this
の
sappy
主催の
stuff.
密室でいかにして金蔵が逃れたのか、その最後の青き真実は。
There was no pain in Delaner's expression. Pleasure and pain never showed up on her face in the first place. However, she was only barely able to rise to her feet, using her long sword as a crutch, so it was easy to guess at how easily she'd been how heavily she'd been damaged. And despite her lack of an expression, you could tell that this was a loss she could accept. Battler and Delaner turned to face each other.
行くぜ。
いざ来た。
As though readying herself, Delaner quietly closed her eyes, but she stood tall and maintained her air of dignity.
これが俺の青き真実だ。
Alright, tell me how he could have jumped from that fucking window, because even I don't know. The blue power gathered. Battler slowly approached Delaner. Then he faced the rainy sky and yelled out the blue truth.
後宮金蔵は夏日おばさんの目を盗み、窓より書斎を脱出した。夏日おばさんはそれに気づかず窓を施錠したんだ。これで夏日おばさんが23時じい様の就寝を見届け、扉のレシート封印、窓の内側からの施錠を矛盾させずに実際に脱出可能であることはこの俺が実
Okay,
証
but
した
how?
と。
Like, how did you not just shatter all of your legs?
以上でこの戦いを決着する。
The blue wedge flashed through the courtyard along with a blue bolt of lightning, roaring down towards Delaner's forehead as she stared up at the sky. Yeah, I guess so. It's one of those devil's proofs. If Battler can jump down that window, then Kinzo can too. You can't say that it was impossible.
ベアとのゲームは甘くねえぜ。ミステリーのお約束が通じるかどうかも怪しい。立ち筋は悪くねえが、もう少しお頭を柔らかくする。
What are you, like the samurai master now? A massive blue wedge that looked like a pillar was above Delaner's forehead, and had stopped with its tip just slightly touching her. It didn't run her through. It made no mark larger than being poked with a pencil. When Battler snapped his fingers, the blue wedge shattered and became a shower of translucent gems. No, drops of rain that poured down over the courtyard. Delaner sat down in a dazed sort of way. Amidst the thunder and rain, the successor to the Ushiromiya family headship faced the people staring down from the study and spread his arms wide.
ようこそ、俺とベアと。歓迎するぜ。ウルドエリカ。
She's so owned right now. This is like the biggest L in this entire visual novel so far. Battler's taken so many L's, and this is the biggest one that's been handed out to somebody else.
後宮バトラグッドだわ。
グッド。
実にグッドだわ。食らい尽くしている魔女の謎とやらをね。
Nummy. Chew on it like the rat you
奥の
are.
奥まで生きながらにね。
Yeah, like a rat would do. Battler and Beato both looked calmly up at Erica, who couldn't contain her evil laugh. She's so funny. It is good stuff, I agree. It was pretty cheesy. It was pretty cheesy, but it was entertaining, so it's not lame.
ベルンカステル長、申し訳ありません。あんたのその顔、潰して額縁に飾りたいくらいに最高に笑える顔だわ。
So true.
私の分身が情けない。
This is how I am with my OCs too. I think this is how everybody feels about their OCs. Bathed in the sneers of Burncastle, a being who was like a mother to her, Erica was so ashamed that it looked as though she'd chew her lower lip to pieces.
恨みは必ず後ろ宮バトラベアトリーチェ後ろ宮
She's so mad.
夏日
She's so fucking mad, dude.
この謎は俺たちの謎だ。誰にも邪魔はさせねえぜ。ベアトリチェ。
Oh man, that was great. That was incredible stuff. That scene there, that was fantastic. I do think that's a perfect place to stop for this week. Wow. Okay, all right. I forgot it was in the morning, so it's 11. It's almost noon. Okay. I was like, wait, we're not skipping all the way to the end of the night. But no, it's noon. But that's a good place to stop for tonight, I think. We'll be. Don't show me anything. Don't show me anything. We're stopping. We're stopping. Stop showing me things. I'm trying to right click. All right, great. That was great though. Episode 5 has been fantastic so far. It's just the pure amount of good moments might be making it my top episode so far. It's pretty crazy how this story keeps one-upping itself, but I am all in, baby. But that'll be the last bit of Umineko for this week, because tomorrow we're playing Armored Core Project Phantasma, the expansion, the first expansion, I should say, for Armored Core 1, which we beat last time. So I'll be transferring my Armored Core 1 save to Project Phantasma, and that'll be very fun because we're kind of OP. So we're gonna rock our way through Project Phantasma. It'll be a great time. And so I hope everybody shows up for that. If you're new here, remember to follow the YouTube for any VODs of stream you missed, join the Discord to get immediate updates on when the stream goes live, and follow my Twitter for all of my funny, insightful thoughts that I vomit out onto the web sphere. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm really actually quite happy with how successful these streams are. I didn't think many people would be into visual novel streams when I first started Tsukihime almost 2 years ago, but I'm glad people do like them. So, thank you so much. We're gonna raid Ars Orion. They're playing, what Star Wars game was it? It's the Dark Soulsy one. Fallen Order, that's it. So, go give them a follow. And go post Die the Death in their chat, okay? Thanks, everybody. Good dog.